love and gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Oh,
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They
don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him. I never hated him. I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side floor. Gucci a large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch it on YouTube with viewing for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Happy Friday, Leroy. How are you?
Good Friday.
It is a good Friday. It is a good Friday. How are you?
It is Good Friday.
No, I know it is a good Friday. I understand. It is Good Friday. Yes, it is. It is Holy Week. It is. You got Good Friday. You got Easter on Sunday. Easy. Happy Passover to everybody out there.
Is that how you say it? I have to ask one of my friends.
I think Happy Passover is the term. When there are other terms, you say have an easy fast for like Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
I believe that
Okay.
I have that okay, but if I
All right.
messed up, I apologize.
Listen. Christianity is kicking my ass, so I may struggle with other religions knowing.
Yeah. You
the
don't really
proper-
say Happy Good Friday. Good Friday is more of a solemn holiday in the Christianity in Christianity.
Correct.
So, but you do say Happy Easter, which of course we have coming up on Sunday. But let's get to our headlines this lovely, lovely Friday, which are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your pricito at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. The Pinks opening up the new stadium tomorrow.
It's almost done.
It's done. No, I think it is done. I think that I don't know about the parking lot and all that, but I think
It's
it is.
the surrounding areas.
The surrounding areas aren't done. They got big plans for that, although so did the Marlins back in the day.
Bull Bar's still right there.
Bull
across the
Bar's still
street.
yeah. It doesn't have signage anymore, but it's still there. But that is it called New Stadium? Is that how it's referred to? That's New Stadium?
Yes.
Not confusing at all.
No, not at all. It's a
at
new
all.
stadium, but it's also a new stadium.
What the hell is new?
Beats me. What the hell is a Kaseya?
Why wouldn't they just call
Kaseya,
it?
I think, is like a software company.
Well,
Why didn't they just call it the Mastech?
The what?
The
what?
Mastech. That's the company that.
Well, it's like that would be like the Kaseya Center being Carnival Center. You know?
Yeah.
Why do you want to buy your own naming rights? Trying to make money, baby. That's why. You got to pay these messy contracts.
I mean, he getting paid from a whole bunch of people other than the Pinks.
Yeah, but he is getting paid a lot by the Pinks. You know, he's should be very expensive.
I mean, is he the latest, besides the big three, is he the latest star to come to Miami and you get everything that they promised?
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I think so.
When you say, hey, we want to win trophies, we want to win cups, we want to win MLS. I mean, he is the person that they brought in town. First, there was Shaq, then the big three, and now it's Messi. Is there any? Well, I'm sorry that the Panthers did so many guys. Is it really one guy? And Barkov is your own.
If you were to say a guy, it would be Kachchuck because he was.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But who's? I think Barkey's more important than Kachchuck. although Kachuk is
he's more important. But here's what I would say, and this is no knock on Barkey, but I think the badass attitude the Panthers have, that is infiltrated by Matthew Kachuk. By the way, have you seen what these Kachucks are up to lately? These rascals.
I got to tell you, for a guy who's supposed to be physical and whatever, got some skills with the puck.
Oh yeah, he's listen, there's a reason why it was such a big deal. He's very good in front of the net. He's very good at he's not the best. He even jokes, he's like, I'm not the best skater, but everybody raves about the hands in front of the net and the disruption he can cause and all that type of stuff is setting his team up. And he looks physically back to himself. I'll tell you who else was playing well. Panthers win last night, 2-1 filthy.
2-1 filthy.
They beat the Boston Bruins and our boy, your fellow Michigan Wolverine, Mackie Samoskevich, finally getting going. He has had a really rough year, and Paul Maurice has referred to him many times this year as snake bit. Like he just couldn't get anything past the goalie this year.
Right.
And now finally he's getting on a run late. He's scored in 3 straight games.
You think that has to do with some of the other guys returning?
I don't know.
Right.
I think
like hockey, it's so much different for me to like do that with hockey. You know, when you say, hey, a receiver's better because they're starting quarterbacks back, or, you know, you say, you know, you could say somebody like Jamal Murray has picked up because Joker's back. Right.
Well,
but
I can't really
hockey,
say that.
In hockey, I don't know how you know, they get to play on their own line because guys are coming back. They get to play with people they're familiar with because guys are coming back, and that frees them up a little bit.
Well, they don't have a lot of. I mean, like
that's what I'm saying.
I'm just injured, so he's been dealing with it all. I think Maurice has pretty much chalked it up to he's just had some rotten luck this year. You know, and don't forget, you know, he probably maybe it's like increased responsibility you felt like you're gonna have, but tell you one thing, the Sergei Bobrovsky still giving the Bruins nightmares. It is funny, Sergei Bobrovsky has finished off this year, and you know, it was a tough statistical year for him, but ever since the trade deadline, he's definitely played a lot better. But he especially has played great against the teams that the Panthers face all the time in the playoffs. He's just like, just so you remember, Edmonton, I'm the top dog here. Shuts their ass out. It's like, oh, Detroit, you think you're going to do something? No, you're not. Enjoy the playoffs. You're lucky I'm not going to be there. Boston, 2-1 filthy. I mean, the save he had last night where he's like, double kick out and then does the tumble over. I'm just like, he's ridiculous. No, you know, nobody's like this, and he's just the best. I love him. Do you hear him after the game yesterday?
No.
Glad you asked then, dude, because here's what Sergei Bobrovsky had to say.
Yeah, I feel good. You know, I feel good. I play my game again. You know, honestly, I'm living the dream. You know, I play in the NHL. I'm starting goalie in the Florida Panthers, two Stanley Cup champions. You know, and I'm enjoy every moment, each and every moment, enjoying be here and trying to remind myself that this is it. This is my time, and trying to take everything out of it.
Nah, he's the best. What a guy. What a guy. He is living the dream. I'm living the dream watching him. Just watching Bob do his Bob things. But have you seen what these Kachchucks are up to?
No.
Brittany, have you seen what these Kachchucks are up to?
I have, yes.
So these Kachchucks, this podcast is getting them in trouble. Okay, it's been a bit of
are you shocked?
It's been a bit of a rabble rouser.
I mean, when you say Kachchuck and podcast, like, yeah.
So the Kachchucks had Papa Kachuk on their podcast.
Oh my goodness, another Kachuk. Oh my goodness. And he's like the ringleader of all of the
dude.
Oh,
because no one's gonna tell him. And so Brady is now in a little bit of hot water because there's a thing going on. You know, Panthers just beat Ottawa, right?
Yeah.
And they just absolutely lit them up on fire. Five goals in the first period. I guess something's going on with their goalie where he didn't want to play back-to-backs. And Kachuk's dad didn't say his name directly, but he was very much was like, oh, I can't play back-to-backs. Give me a break. And then you
That's
could just
old
see both.
school.
You could just see both sons are like, well, then moving on, and so like everybody's like, more drama with the with the Senators. Now, mind you, the Senators are fighting for their playoff lives. They won yesterday 4-1 against Buffalo. Good win for them. And so they're back in one of the wild card spots. But Brady's already had a bit of a tough year with everything that happened in the post-Olympics and the way that Canada was not happy with how Team USA acted. Now he has this. There's always like, is he going to stick around there? And so just some more podcast drama thrown into the mix of this, which, look, does this end up with Brady Kachchuck on the Panthers? Who's to say? I'm not here to talk about, what this will or will not do. I guess, I'm sure Brady, task at hand, he's got a playoff run. His brother does not, for once. But, it was definitely noticeable. Canada was not thrilled.
And it's not even from him.
Nope.
I guess they're assuming that Brady told him.
Well, I mean, the dad knows.
Right.
He's not.
The dad's a hockey guy.
The dad knows. Like he's in tune with everything. Is he going to more?
So why are they mad at Brady? They just want to be mad at Brady.
They just want to be like, what? Hey, why does this podcast keep coming up and keep making drama for us all the time? This isn't like, hey, you're not like your brother who's sitting on 2 cups. It's like you're not. Like, we're still sitting here. We take this very seriously. But it was crazy. He said,
edit it out.
You would think, right? You would think like, yeah, maybe not. They're not live podcasts.
They're not a live podcast. So
they're not live.
Edit it out.
But maybe the dad's like, you better not edit that out.
Yes, father.
What do
you think? The ringleader? Yeah, he's not taking no mess.
If he tells Tony, the producer, he'd be like, you better not take that out. What's he going to do? He said,
or in true Kachchuck fashion, put it out there. We'll deal with it.
Brady said on his podcast comments yesterday, this is from the Twitter account, coming in hot sends. I assume they're big Senators fans. I completely respect my dad. He's going to be a Hall of Famer, so I'm not going to put words in his mouth or explain what he said. If you know him, he's an outgoing guy, says what he says kind of what he thinks, and I know he comes from a good place. Does he?
I have a question. Please explain the good place when you say about one of your son's goalies. Oh, I don't want to play. Wait. What place is that?
I don't know.
That's the place where you say, I had a couple.
Kind of sounds
yeah, come on.
He's like, listen, you finish out this year, then you know what we're going to do, Brady? Make a stink.
Listen, you're the only one that believes that phrase.
What do you mean?
You're the only. You think there's a Tobin somewhere else saying to Bam, make a stink?
There might be.
No.
There might be.
You're one of a kind, my friend. There is nobody else looking at other rosters trying to figure out how they would look on my team.
Interesting.
Yes. I mean, I don't think it should be that big of a deal. Him saying something about a player. Here's the kicker. Anybody in Ottawa that has a problem is because you know it's true. If it's not true and you don't think it's reality, then they kind of laugh stuff like that off. That's kind of the nature of somebody making a comment about you in sports, right? If you're offended and you get mad at something that was said about your play, that's because you question it yourself. Does that make any sense? Because I don't know why. I don't know why Ottawa fans would be. If somebody said that about Bob, we would be like, that's not true. Bob wants to play every night. Like, we know this, right?
Well,
but if somebody said, Mom didn't want to play back to back, we wouldn't be as offended because Bob help you win 2 cups and go to 3 finals.
But his teammate is literally sitting across from him as he's saying this, and he's not defending his teammate.
I mean,
It's crazy.
So it's
Like,
that's
Brady
why
was-
they're mad at Brady because he didn't.
Yeah, because his dad was on the podcast with him and Matthew,
And he
they were all
didn't defend
talking.
him.
And no,
Maybe
he
he
just
don't like
sat
him.
there and didn't do anything.
Maybe his hope was, Brittany, because if he did say something back, he goes, "That's not what you said before the mics were on."
Right.
Maybe his
Yeah,
dad's
but,
too much of a
get it
loose
out.
cannon.
Again, it's
Listen,
not live.
Okay. Is that something you want to go back and forth with your dad?
No.
Right.
But who
Right.
cares when you're a professional career, when you are causing, like, exactly, you're in the middle of trying to get to the playoffs
Here.
and you're releasing this, like, that's not good for your team. Like,
it's
he doesn't
not.
get it back.
It's not good. Here's the only reason why it isn't good. It's not good because they lost, and it looks like they gave the appearance by saying that the goalie was mad that he had to play back-to-backs. Okay? Or did he didn't play, the goalie didn't play that night. They lost.
He didn't play a couple of regular nights, and then he comes out against the Panthers and he gives up 2 goals on 2 shots. It was the game where the Panthers just lit them up.
Right. So and that was a back-to-back. So like, I don't know. I think sometimes we look for things to be mad at, but how do you know there's not other players on the team that look around the league and see goalies fighting for playoff spots? I need to go every night. And
Why
then you're out there and the reason why nobody defended him because they believe it too.
That's fine, and I understand that, but why are you putting that on a public forum? Like, you have to know what you're doing at that point. This isn't the first time that they've, gotten a little loose on their podcast and they've gotten backlash.
Can I just say this? We are all familiar with the bad boys of hockey, right? The Kachchucks.
Right.
And this is right in line with how they play hockey. Right? From the dad to the 2 sons. I don't imagine we would care about what they had to say if they were like being overly professional.
But I think the thing that is different that we don't really have the grasp of this is so much bigger up there than it is down here, sitting on 2 championships. Okay. And
I got you. I got you.
Different.
But usually
this would be almost like the equivalent of Bam's mom on a podcast making comments about the Olay twins.
What if she did? If she pulled out the music and went so I listen again. I would be more interested in, we're hearing this side of it, and everybody's saying Brady didn't defend the goalie. Before right here, nobody did.
Well, not on the podcast. I mean, it's the Kachchuck.
Right. Wait. Right. Are you familiar with the reporters in the world? You telling me that's not going to get back to that locker room?
Well, I think they requested them both yesterday, and I don't think they wanted to speak to the media. I just gave you Brady's quote. I haven't seen Olmark, what he said about it. I'll try and find that. But we'll take a break. Lots to get to here on a Friday. We're back after this. I hope that cough didn't get over the air. I apologize if it did.
Professional. That's what you would say to me.
JFig's got the very quick trigger on these remote shows. You know, she's not hobnobbing. So like we're back right away. I was like, oh, caught me mid cough.
I didn't have your mic on.
Oh, thank God. I don't know about the StreamYard though. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. We take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Miami.
I did my went to the restaurant Depot this morning. Get my meat. Got to get ready.
Shmita Schmolik says it sure did, you unprofessional swine. Jesus.
Jeez.
Swine is just very strong.
I mean,
like
again, yeah, I say the same thing about the Kachchucks. What did you expect him to say?
Nothing other than
something right along those lines.
It's crazy. Marlins will be in action this afternoon. First pitch, 1:35 from the Bronx. 1:35. Ayori Perez on the hill today against Will Warren. The Marlins then got Max Meyer against Ryan Weathers tomorrow. That's a 7:05 first pitch. And then it'll be afternoon again on Sunday. Chris Paddock will try and bounce back against Max Fried. So Marlins will take on the Yankees in their first road game tonight, or this afternoon, excuse me. I was like, what the hell is it up in New York right now? It's like kind of glum, you know? It's not like freezing. It's just glum. It's like 52, cloudy. You know, not exactly thrilling baseball weather, but not when you should be like sleeved up and shivering.
Right.
Let's see. What do we got? Let's see. Bronx. It's 50 degrees right now. Should be 57 by first pitch, but glum.
You know what? It was one of the things I hated about being up north when baseball started. Real iffy.
Yeah.
Like, remember some years they show snow? I'm like, oh, this sucks. Cold, rainy, glum. Right. Yeah.
Excited to see it, though. Like, I think this is one of those things, like, right out of the bat. Okay, Marlins got the record the way that they should have and wanted to. You couldn't have gotten a better week from Sandy.
TCB all week.
Took care of business.
Yeah.
And now you get to like step up a little bit and you get to go on the road, take on the Yankees. Because if the Marlins able to win this series,
first 3 series out the gate,
gonna be feeling quite froggy. And you got a little revenge game. Ryan Weathers, who you had here last year, in the second start of the series. Very interesting. Very interesting with this upcoming series for the Fish. And Liam Hicks, I mean, is just tearing the cover off the ball right now.
Yep.
So that's nice. I'll kick off the afternoon with a little afternoon Fish action and see what's what with this one. And we'll see if Liam Hicks. I've been dying like listening to these Liam Hicks comparisons. I'm like, they're like, here is the comparison with last year to this year. Goes with the leg kick on the swing now, Leroy. I was like, oh, that's good. Toe tap to leg kick. Get that uppercut going. Real lift. Guys hitting the absolute stuffing out of the baseball. Killing it right now. So I just would like it. And you know what? I gotta be honest with you. Let's not mince words here. Got no love for those Yankees and Derek Jeter. We know what you did. We know what you did when you were here. Yeah, he's a saboteur. He's a saboteur. And so every time you could stick it to that team, I'm always a fan of it. I'm always a fan. I'll always hate the Mets more than the Yankees. It's not like the Yankees, I look at them as some rival. Kick their ass in a World Series. So what kind of rivalry is that? But I got no love for them because when I was always growing up, it's always be like, oh, we can't wait until that guy's a Yankee. And then Jeter made it come true with Stanton going to the Yankees and Jazz Chisholm. It's like, all right, and I know that Jeter was gone by the time Jazz Chisholm, but it had Jeter lingering over it, because just him. So all I'm saying is the Yankees can go to hell and they're going to get the business this weekend from the Fish.
All right.
That's it.
I can't. Well, here. we know how you are down
What?
here, but I can't even say that your excitement for this week's series is unwarranted. So I'm not gonna do what I normally do.
Rain
And then
on
you
it.
call me a yum yucker. But
Just
I'm
calling
not.
you
I
are.
can't. As of right now with these Marlins, I can't not say you shouldn't be excited. Hell, I'm excited too.
So you're gonna when we get going off the show today, you're gonna watch yourself a little Marlins Yankees. Hmm?
I might.
Hmm?
It depends on. I gotta get all my
Affairs in order.
all my stuff ready to go. I got ribs. I gotta get my gumbo. Make sure I got all my stuff for that.
Mm.
You know, I picked up some chili from down the street from the work. Some of that that good chili.
All right.
So yeah, I'm I'll probably be in and out, but
Sounds like you're
that's
not watching the game. I don't like. You could just say I don't have time today. There's a
no,
lot
but
of
but here's when they say watch it. No,
there's
but
2 other games.
if I'm in the car, I can put the game on,
You can.
right?
You listen to it'll be
I
on
can
AM
listen to it.
560 today.
I can listen to it with my earbuds when I'm outside doing stuff. So,
Dude, I got to talk about. We haven't talked about this yet. So I don't have time to get into it.
and Jesus came back for the cookout.
We'll take a break. I got to talk about something I heard on the Marlins broadcast because we completely got lost in it yesterday with the Heat getting their ass kicked.
Oh.
But it was legitimately hilarious. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Get to a little 15 minutes of heat brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. As the Miami Heat, they are off today. They will practice. They play tomorrow afternoon, the Washington Wizards at 3 o'clock. But they will get a little work in today. And
what are you gonna work on?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe Spo gets crazy, starts Jovic and Ware and Kasper Jakachonis with Bam in the next game. I don't know.
What the hell's going on with Jovic?
Oh, dude, what has gone on with Jovic? That's a great question.
You think
nothing
he's
good?
So banged up, and he's trying to play with that bad back or whatever.
Nah, I think it's a mix of everything. I think it's just been a terrible year, and he has been hurt. But also, once he came back, it's like the damage is done. I don't think Spo's playing him unless it's like, a blowout, something like that. I just actually got my notification from the Eurobasket website, and they're like,
your subscription is ending.
No, I mean, I still got a few more months. I still got I have it until probably July. That's when the game started, so I still got a few more months. But I was thinking to myself, but I've gone back and forth with this DAZN. I've talked about it as a boxing fan, like, they really put the screws to the boxing fan, right? But so I've been out, but now I got to get it again because Xander's pay-per-view is going to be on there, and Wilder's fighting this weekend. I kind of want to watch Wilder fight on DAZN. And the Eurobasket site that I bought, they moved their website to DAZN, like all of their coverage and games. So they're like, congratulations, you now have DAZN. I was like, what? I didn't even want you. So in my efforts,
are you going to get to see the fight, or is still
I will get to see the fight. But that was like, I didn't even ask for this. All I wanted to do was watch some Serbian basketball and some Swedish basketball. But reap what you sow. I guess I get it because that's what I get for gassing up Jovic after his performance against Portugal.
Which again, I sometimes try to warn you about. And everybody gets mad at me. But here we go. Like, look, hopefully he has a long career. Most careers are built with ups and downs and young players, showing flashes but not being consistent. That's normal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, like, for Jovic to only be 21, 22 years old and already be considered a bum because he's been playing in the NBA so long.
Well, I wouldn't say bum, but I would say 22 years old, more injury concerns have come up. He really doesn't have a role because he doesn't like to play his size, so he's not a good rebounder. His shooting's been inconsistent. Like, there's nothing you could really lean on. And I think the only place where he could really truly, I think the only place where he feels comfortable as a basketball player is in the role that Jaime's doing. But how are you going to take Jaime out of the role that Jaime's doing? Jaime's been balling out.
So my question is this. This happens with a lot of Euro basketball guys. They're tall with ball skills and play on the perimeter. And we see that size and sometimes that athleticism and that ability. And we all of a sudden, when they bring him over here, think, oh, they can bang inside. If it weren't for his height, if he was the same height as Pella, he would be playing a 2-guard or something like that.
Oh, there's nothing more Nikola Jović would love than to be Kasper Jakachonis' height.
Right.
Because then he could just be the player that he'd love to be. The problem is you're not Kasper Jakachonis' height. And also, even if we're not saying he's going to bang inside, you need to finish at the rim, dude. Like, you're 6'10". Like, it can't be it can't be a coin flip every time you go for a layup. And I think that's the thing is everybody's like, whoa.
I got you. But you know what I'm saying? Like we see this a lot with the Euro guys, is that the guys that come over, even with their length, and for some reason they're all 7 foot plus with ball skills, right? They come over here, we see that size, and we immediately say, oh, he comes over here, he can play inside. And they've never done it. So it's more of I would say it's harder for him to be able to adjust to the NBA with what they're asking him to do versus Kalel, who's been doing it his whole career playing here.
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying, but also like Kalel's had some of those issues too. Like he needs to play bigger. You know, I think he gets a little too comfortable on the perimeter. I think one of the things
that's what he's always done.
I think we've seen him at his best. Like he attacks inside and can get putbacks and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're going to need from him. He needs to be more comfortable with that, and he needs to be more comfortable staying in the paint. Like those things are definitely true. Has some of it deterred because his confidence is waned because the coaches believe in him? Yeah, I think some of that too. That's happened.
I think early on in your career, and this, I was fortunate that every team that I played for, every coach I played for said the same thing: Leroy, go smash. Right? I never had to reinvent who I was. You know, there's certain technical aspects of it I had to pick up on to be better at it. I think Jovic is being asked to kind of be a different player than he's accustomed to being. And I guess we really didn't realize it, you know, because, you know, he would make a three, he would make threes, he would, you know, do those perimeter things. But yeah, it's hard to have all that size and to come here and play in the NBA and people think that you're not going to even put a foot in the paint. And when you get around the rim, you're going to be terrible, like you're 6 foot.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the things that are frustrating. But I would say that we're making those analogies because he's tall. We're not looking at the type of player he is. You see what I mean?
But here's the thing. If you're not that type of player, you need to shoot like Larry Markkinen. Like you need to.
But
if you're not that type of player, and his shot's been inconsistent too, like that's the thing. Right. There's nothing with him because even with Kalel, you're like, oh, he shoots. Yeah, but he's been a decent shooter this year. Like you need to be able to hold your hat on something. Like Kalel, where even in his like, all right, he'll get some rebounds.
Right.
You know, right now his role is basically like let Bam get a breather, which is unfortunate. Right. But I think with Nico, like there's just nothing you can really lean on.
Nothing,
and
there's nothing you can lean on. There's nothing like if I say, what does Nico bring to the table?
Yeah.
We're going to sit there for 20 minutes trying to think because he hasn't done anything exceptional that, and here's what happens. If you are the size that he is, but you play really well doing what you do, coaches will acclimate to you, right? But there's nothing that he does outside of being tall that would lead them not to keep continuing to coach him and guide him into being a more physical presence in the paint.
Well, they got to find something because they just signed him to $60 million. Like you can't just, I mean, because who's trading for him? Like unless Denver calls up and because Big Brate wants him, and even Big Brate had to smack him upside the head because he wasn't locked in for the Finland game.
Right.
You know? So I don't really, they got to figure out something. I'm not suggesting, hey, you just need to play him because you paid him right now. But obviously, if you have him signed up for the next 4 years at $15 million a year, you got to figure something out for him.
Right.
You know, because I can't imagine people are going to be running to go trade for that right away. Like you're going to want to see something out of him. And, you know, I just don't know. I don't know where they go from there. I guess he'll have a summer off essentially because I don't think there's any international for Serbia this year.
Yeah. You think that he's a player that we should all be more patient with, even though we've seen some good things out of him early in his career? Like maybe it was almost like, yeah, we saw those flashes, but now he needs to be a better NBA player.
Yeah, and I think there probably is some maturity stuff too, because even he said, I remember when he had like 2 good games. Remember he came back from the arm fall. Remember he almost broke his arm against or split his arm open against the Raptors. Then he came back. He had like 2 good games, and he even said he's like, I'm going to be more of a professional. I'm going to handle this like a professional. I don't know how long that lasted. You know,
then he got hurt.
Then he got hurt
his
again.
Back.
Then he had the back thing again.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, they got to figure something out. Like, I don't know if it's going to happen this year because time's up, but that's got to be
Ooh.
something they figure out in the off season.
How you figure this one, JT3?
Mhm.
Patience time is over, man. When you get the second contract, that's it.
Yeah, I don't disagree with his point because, like, it is year 4. You would be going.
Yeah, but
So
he's still only what,
he'll be 23
23?
this summer.
He's still only 23. Like, that's the other thing that, um, you know, when basketball players normally get in their prime, they're 26, 27 years old,
Remember
and
that
Nico's
Magic?
really young. And are we expecting too much,
They had
or
that
is it
game
because that's what the team needs?
had that game against the Magic last year where they played Ware, Bam, and Nico. Oh,
Woo!
they were great. Tall
Big.
time. Oh, that was a time to be had.
Yep. Tall
Just
time. We like the tallest guy on the floor sometimes is Bam. What are we doing? You better have 4 guys that could shoot lights out if you Bam is your tallest guy, right?
yeah.
You have to, because
They
you
need
know
more
what's
guys who could
wait,
they need
when
more
you
guys
have
who could
those,
shoot on this.
yeah, you know what's on the other end. So, like, you got to shoot the lights out to make up for it.
Brittany, are you rats off a ship on Jovic, or do you think you can get it together?
No, I'm not rats off a ship on him, and I also don't think that the Heat have much of an option. I
Well,
think they
that's
need to
true.
figure it out I think they need to figure it out somehow with him. Like you said, they paid him big money, and nobody's going to trade for him. So, I'm not rats off a ship. I think he had a low year. I mean, look at Jaime Jaquez last year. He had the same situation, and he came back this year and is the best we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah,
Remember?
that's also like, let's think about that. Like,
Mhm.
let's think about, we saying the things we're saying right now, we were saying about Jaime last year. And look at how he bounced back. So, like, now they play different games, right? But I mean, and I think Jaime has a better base in which to improve. Like, he has good footwork, he maneuvers well in the paint.
Mhm.
Like, he does different things. It's not all based on shooting, right? So maybe there's that, but we were saying the same things about Jaime last year.
I think it
And
would be
Jaime
interesting.
started off the year this year on fire.
Jaime had an interview with Zach Lowe that I listened to yesterday, and he was talking about, like, what he did in the summer, and he said that this was kind of he didn't say it was the first, but he was like, he really went into doing drill work, and that helped him with his handles, like, because he was normally I just like playing basketball. That's my workout. With Nico not having an international ball this summer, then maybe that's something he could do, like, just find the right person down here to work out with.
When he goes to visit mama, she's going to send him back.
I don't think, yeah, just like, no,
Send
you
him,
have to,
no.
you got to stay here,
Yeah.
play some, get him in the Miami Pro League, something down here, just like get him in some open run and see where he can go out. But yeah, they got to figure out something with him. They got to
I
figure
think
out
we just
something.
talked ourselves into a better situation. After talking about what happened to Jaime last year, Jaime having that offseason and coming back the way he did, now all we can do is look at Nico and go, okay, well, Nico's a little bit younger than Jaime was. So maybe, he gets one of those off seasons like that where he's not playing, and it doesn't help if the Heat, spend the last couple of years trying to get him to play a certain way, and then he goes play Euro basketball, right? And gets away from it.
Yeah, I don't think they played too much different though. Like, I think that,
Okay.
he was doing a lot of leak outs and stuff like that. Like, I think he actually, a lot of the stuff that he did with the Heat translated there as far as, like, how he played on defense. I think the way he moves his feet, that's probably the one thing that's most solid about him is he's not like a sieve, but he's got to rebound better. Like, he's got to fight for those kind of things better for his size. But we'll figure it. Hopefully they can figure it out because they're committed to him, Take a break, get you caught up with your headlines. We continue on here on a Friday. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Cody says on the chat, he says, Nico is a raw prospect coming out, 6'11" guard. Bro, what the hell's going on over there?
So it's Good Friday, so nobody has school. My wife doesn't have to work.
Let's just hold on. Clearly, this is like your scramble. I don't know what you think we heard. What we really just heard was basically your ass cheeks were like mic'd up in the chair because it was like,
oh no, just
like why does it happen with that microphone? Like you have this ASMR effect with your mic where it's just like
you can hear everything.
Basically, it seems like I'm living in your office chair. Like, like you like. Did you hear that, Brittany, or is it just me?
No, I heard it. It was very loud.
It was crazy, dude. Yeah, it was a crazy thing that you had.
Is my mic too sensitive?
No, because it sounds fine. I think when it opens up on the room or something like that, because it sounds fine now. But when you first come in, sometimes it's like, what like, let me pick up, you eating chips. Let me pick up you sitting in a chair. I'm just using examples from the past, dude.
Okay.
This time it sounded like you were in a rocking chair at Cracker Barrel.
Oh yeah, Cracker Barrel. They got good food.
Have they gone all the way back after their disastrous rebrand?
Yeah, they came back and they were like, you know what? Never mind. We're gonna keep everything.
We like
the
the way Cracker Barrels were. We don't want them to look like Denny's.
No, please.
I mean, who doesn't like the rocking chairs out front with the big checkers?
That's the whole charm of Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Otherwise I would go somewhere else. It's very strange, but corporate, that's what happens.
Dude, I don't know. Corporate is killing America. Every business. How many times you hear this is a quagmire? Corporate.
Nick T says, what did you hear on the Marlins broadcast? I'm sorry, I had to deter. We were on 15 minutes of heat. So this actually, you know what? This plays into corporate because I felt for this man because this got lost in the sauce of the greatness that was Sandy Alcantara's complete game shutout. But I was listening to the broadcast, and the boys have been doing a great job. Shout out to Jack McMullen and Steven Strom, but also on the broadcast has been Jeff Nelson, who has been doing. I've never heard Jeff Nelson do a radio game. I normally see him on the TV broadcast. He normally does the television broadcast. He may be doing it's a road game. He may be doing the broadcast day on TV. But he was getting very frustrated because they were talking about Jack during probably like the 6th inning, so we weren't quite on complete game shutout mode yet. Sandy was just cruising, and Jeff Nelson found himself to be very frustrated because Jack just kept talking about the Machete, which if you guys, the Machete, the famous 2-foot quesadilla that you can get at Marlins Park this season. And he goes, well, why can't we just get one? And he goes, he goes, well, we're on radio. Like, it doesn't really, he goes, I can describe it. And I was like, hey, Jeff, that's a good point. He's like, we should get a Machete. And then I don't know if this was some sick joke because I kind of got into the middle of the broadcast, but at some point, like they look over from the radio booth and they see in the television booth,
they're eating a Machete.
Kyle Seeloff, they got sent the Machete. And he goes, this is ridiculous. Why do they get the Machete? And he goes, well, Jeff, it goes back to my point. They get to show the Machete on television. He goes, I can do a perfectly good job describing it for our audience. This is ridiculous. He was right. I felt for Jeff. I was like, can somebody just get Jeff Nelson a damn Machete? The man just wants a quesadilla.
Hey, but 2 very valid points. And I think sometimes when you don't have the picture and you have somebody explaining it, it almost pumps it up even more. Right?
Heaven 11 saying, sounding like Leroy at lunchtime. Yeah, like once his hooks were in, he was in. Like Jeff Nelson's like, forget about this complete game shutout. Where is my giant quesadilla?
Right. And meanwhile, guy's throwing a gym behind him.
He goes,
right.
Jeff, you guys, what do you think about Sandy here? He goes, I just don't understand why Tommy gets a machete and I don't get a machete. You know, I'm perfectly fine. I could, you know, so hopefully today, maybe they packed one and brought it to him with the Bronx. But if Jeff Nelson's in the TV booth today, somebody get that
No,
damn man.
you want me to tell you what would be worse? If the Yankees brought their special dish over to him. And then he was like, see what the Yankees did?
They probably would for a World Series champion for them.
Right.
They probably would. But somebody needs to get Jeff Nelson a damn machete the next time he gets to do a game. I felt terrible for him. In fact, when we go out to the ballpark and we get the machete, we should invite Jeff Nelson over to our booth so he can have the machete with us.
Yes. We were looking for it. But they weren't set up yet because all the food was down in the hallways.
Yeah, well, I want to do the show. I want to do it from the outfield. That's what they should put us. That would be fun.
At the Budweiser place. You think we could do it from out there?
Yeah, why not? What could it be?
If we get like a
I like engineering is probably like extremely hard, Tobin.
just wires.
Just do it.
If we did a game like a 1 o'clock game, right?
Right.
During the week, not gonna be a lot of people there.
Right. We'll
might
sit
be able
out
to
there.
get away with it.
I think we could get away with it. I think it would be fun. And we don't, and even like, listen, do a special edition, put them on FM or something like that. Take us. We'll go from 9 to 1. We'll enjoy the baseball game, baby. Just food for thought. Just throwing this out. Hey, there are no bad ideas here. We're just throwing ideas out.
We're just throwing ideas there. Now, I will also like to add that most of our ideas usually end up in Leroy and Tobin having a good time.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
That's the
right?
point.
But we've initiated stuff on our own.
Yep.
Like we usually always go to a Marlins game.
We would have the craziest outfield party you guys would ever see, Marlins. I'm telling you right now. We would bring out all the rascals. It would be a great time.
Yep. Jeff Nelson would come see us.
Humble says, is Tobin diving into the pool? It doesn't exist anymore, dude. There's nothing to dive
anymore. And by the way, listen, growing up in the hood, I've seen some nasty pools. That pool was nasty.
Nick
T
my says,
goodness.
Leroy could probably take down a machete by himself. We know Tobin could.
No, not.
Easy.
I'm like, I could have some, but that's not my thing.
That's not the attitude I want going into this. It needs to be your thing. All right, we're trying to get it set on.
No. I'm saying I couldn't take down a whole one. We're not working on the same. You listen. You're a professional. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it,
baby.
Yeah.
Headlines are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. The Pinks! Inter Miami opens up their new stadium tomorrow. 7:30 against Austin FC. Mark Anthony singing the national anthem. Going for 2 banners, apparently. He's got the banner at the Kaseya Center. Now he's going to try and have the most performances at the new stadium. Marlins will be back in action this afternoon against the Yankees. Yori Perez is on the hill for the Fish against Will Warren. That guy sounds like he's in witness protection. Will Warren. 2 first names, huh?
Oh, I had another guy. Was a hockey player. Davis. Oh, I can't think of his last name. But I was like, 2 first names.
Somebody says, bring back the fish tanks behind the plate. Those fish were terrified. I miss those fish. That was a fun thing. The aquariums behind home plate. That was the one thing I was bummed that was gone. But Jeter, he doesn't like fish. He never put the fish food in there.
That was like very Miami though.
It was a unique thing. It wasn't, it was funny because they did a version. I love the show on Animal Planet, Tanked. You ever watch Tanked?
Yeah. Where they show all these fancy tanks that they put together.
So there was a bootleg version of that. I don't know if it was on National Geographic or what channel it was on, but they had their own. There was another version of it called, I think it was called Fish Kings or something like that, or Fish Tank Kings, something like that. And they did an episode with the Marlins. Like they did the Marlins. It wasn't the tank guys. It was the Fish Tank Kings. They did an episode with the Marlins building their aquariums, and this David Samson came off like just the complete maniac in this episode because he was like taking a baseball bat to the plexiglass of the aquarium to make sure that it could withstand the force, and they're just like,
well, first of all,
taken aback by what the hell.
How much force is he going to be able to put on it? He ain't putting the same force as a
I don't know
baseball player.
Hey, I don't know, but he just wanted to make sure the glass was going to be it was going to be working. Sorry, those. Right. I don't think that fish tank show the Fish Tank Kings. I don't think it lasted as long as Tank. It was sad that
That's funny because neither did the Marlins ownership.
Well, it didn't, but they did get $1 billion. So
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
rat bastard. You need to save us, Peter Bendix. I don't know how to put this, dude. All right, you're kind of our last hope.
Listen, everything's going well right now.
Especially since this Bruce Sherman seems like he was hiding billions from us. All of a sudden, he's got $3 billion. Where'd those billions come from, Bruce? We're buyers at the trade deadline. I've just declared it.
He said, "I just declared it.
I just declared it, and you can afford Sandy, according to Dave Hyde in the Sun Sentinel. $3 billion. Let's go." Or maybe he was citing Forbes. No, I think he cited him. He said he had Marlin sources that said it was $3 billion. You can run that team for $3 billion. You'll be all right. I'm not asking for a Dodgers payroll. Anyway, speaking of baseball, Carter Jensen, rookie catcher from the Kansas City Royals. He was removed from the starting lineup yesterday because he overslept.
What?
Just what I said.
For the game?
That's right.
Wait, so they have to be to the park a lot earlier than the game.
Yeah.
Home game, road game.
Home game.
Ooh, that means that he was into something. Let's
I don't
just
know.
put it that way.
He said, "I didn't wake up to my alarm. I slept through it. I don't really have an excuse, nor should I. It sucks. It happens. I feel like I let my teammates down, coaches down. Just have to learn from it. It won't happen again." ESPN says he eventually arrived, but not early enough to prepare adequately to start the game. He did end up coming in to catch in the 9th inning. And Salvador Perez had to end up catching. And I can't imagine. I got to be honest with you. Salvador Perez, who's 100 years old, he was like, he's the captain of that team. He's probably like, hey, man.
He's like Dorn. No, I just lead. I don't play.
Salvador Perez, like, I gotta imagine that guy's got to oil up the body a little bit to go catch a game these days.
Yeah.
How old is Salvador Perez?
We had that situation with a coach.
Salvador Perez is only 35 because are you sure he's not 45?
You've been saying that name for a long time in baseball.
Salvador Perez has been on the Royals since like George Brett.
Jeez.
His teammate Vinny Pascatino said, "First and foremost, I'm glad Carter's okay. We were trying to get a hold of his parents and everything like that. Dude, if you have people having to reach out to your parents because they can't find you, that is a sleep.
No, that ain't. Hey,
somebody had like did
no. That's not a sleep. That's a passing out. Dude, think about this. Have you ever gone to sleep sober and got the required amount of sleep, and the least little thing goes off in the morning, you're up because you got, you're sleeping? Conversely, if you've been out and about doing whatever it is you do, and then you go to sleep at 2-3 in the morning, and you got to be somewhere at 8, and you set your alarm for 7, that's when you miss that alarm. But I ain't never just gone to sleep. Oh, I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep at like 10, set my alarm for 7. I have never, like, as soon as that alarm went, beep, I'm up.
What's the latest you saw somebody for practice? Like, did anybody ever oversleep practice? Because they're in a hotel, right?
Yeah.
Well, in training camp, you are. Like, what's the latest you've seen somebody to something? You don't have to name names if you don't want to.
Usually, I had a coach that almost missed a game.
Oh, I remember you telling us that. Yeah, the coach.
Yeah.
Oh no. That's bad.
And we knew what that story was because he was on the sidelines and he was drinking up all the water. And finally one of the players walked by and slapped it out of his hand. Players only. Because I'm like, he smelled like
he had a rough night.
Yeah. So,
Yeesh.
But as far as I've heard it on other teams, maybe having a Super Bowl twice. It happened with Oakland and it happened with Cincinnati.
Well, yeah, but those guys were legitimately like those guys were having. One guy had like a mental breakdown.
One guy had a mental breakdown. The other guy was on that. That old South Florida special.
Dude, I've overslept a couple of times. It's really rough. Like I did that their game day uncensored one time this year. I missed like the first 7 minutes of the show. Brittany remembers that. I was like, what? Thank God I only had to go to my garage. I was like, I just was like,
oh, I've never overslept when I had the show at my house.
Yeah, it was the first time I've ever done that. But when I go on vacation, I always have the same dream that I'm not even doing this show. I'm back producing for the morning show with Zaslow and Joy, or Zaslow and Amber and Romberg, or Zaz and Hawk, whatever. I just always have the dream that I'm back in the morning. And the same thing happens. I'm late and I can't get the damn board to work. It just shuts down. And I go through sweats. I'm just like, I can't. And every time that always happens to me when I'm sleeping at a hotel on vacation, like the third day.
Oh, really? Because you haven't been working. So you feel like I don't go this many days without working.
It's a problem.
I don't usually if I go on vacation, I get up when I get up. You know what I mean? Usually the people around me will wake me up, say, let's go. I like to relax, but I don't think I've ever missed. I've never even been late for practice. I've been late for meetings, but part of it is when you live up north and you get 10 inches of snow and you set your time to where, okay, I can get up, take a shower, get dressed, and then go to and then you have to include a 25-minute snow removal from your car or your driveway, then that throws you off.
Man, Salvador Perez has been on the Royals since 2011. Good God. And he's only 35? Man. Anyway, we'll take a break. Speaking of oversleeping, these Tiger Woods arrest videos. Oh my God. Crazy.
Man, but you know what's crazy? I'm going to just put this out there. I appreciate law enforcement before I say what I'm getting ready to say.
Well, let's just save it because you're going to, you sound like you're going into a whole thing. We'll take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. We got another pair of Disturbed tickets to give away.
J-Fig's favorite band.
Her favorite band, dude. They're going to be at Hard Rock Live in July, and she's giving away more tickets. Our final pair coming up today at 12:40 p.m. 12:40 p.m. is when we get ready for that. We'll take a Leroy's Fancy coming up here shortly this hour, and lots to get into as we roll on into the weekend. Tiger Woods yesterday had more of, what is that?
Tiger Woods ball.
Oh, is that what you got? A set of them? How, are those
No,
expensive?
somebody gave them to me. It's just the box, but somebody gave me some of the balls. I tried them. Like, you have to understand that it's hard to play with some of these balls that the pros have made for them because they compress it so much more than you do. So, yeah, I didn't like them.
What is that like? What does that do? It just makes them go further.
Tiger plays with a really soft ball, and if you don't have the swing speed that he has, you need a firmer ball to make it go farther. So these guys that swing hard, like Rory and a lot of these guys on tour, can use a really soft ball because they can still get their distance.
Well, Tiger Woods only came out of that arrest with like 900 memes after it was done.
Dude, like, I mean, come on. Like, dude, I think here, you know how you know when you messed up? This is when you know that you're not in the right frame of mind. When you're not actually like understanding all of how this is going to play out. You see what I mean? So everything that Tiger said or how he looked or whatever, you could tell he wasn't thinking right, because if you're in the right frame of mind, you start thinking about all these things and say, oh, let me not say who I am. Let me not do this. Let me not do that, right?
Yep.
And the fact that you just putting it all out there, that in itself says he's not quite there.
Let me not say who I am. He's Tiger
No,
Woods.
no.
Confused.
I mean, you know the line. Do you know who I am? I mean,
Well, he did a different one yesterday.
Yeah. Oh,
oh,
goodness.
I don't. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Just keep you down here with us, please.
Yeah, I was just talking to the president.
Oh.
Trying to get away from those.
Heading back to the cop car right now. Small flex, though. Yeah, just talking to the president. Hey, make this go away.
Hey, I mean, like, that don't, like, I'm going to just put it out there. He's firing some folks that was very supportive.
Wow.
So I wouldn't, I don't know, man. I mean, I would have known something.
I wonder if the president called him or if he called the president. Like, do you think he called, like, is this news broke very fast that there was an accident and then we found out it was an arrest?
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder, and obviously there's family ties there as well. So I wonder if the president found out and called him immediately, or if Tiger Woods called the president like, hey, man.
I don't know. Like,
or if he was even really on the phone with the president.
Maybe it was just on the president.
But again,
maybe it was the president of the country club.
You're thinking of thought out plans, right? If you're not all there, you're not planning this. You're just grasping at straws. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He's on the moon, dude.
Hey, and he got on his Sunday red.
He does.
Yeah, that's the
advertisement.
brand.
Hey Tiger, what was that polo you were wearing? I'm glad you asked. Sunday red.
Oh
crazy.
My goodness. Could you imagine how that conversation would have went?
D-Sizzle says he definitely made the call.
Yeah.
What happened, Tiger? I did it again.
Sunday red, DUI blue. Oh wow. Wow.
Wow. Oh man.
What are we doing? Like
The one where he's in the blanket though, like they're really killing him with the memes.
they had I saw one where he was a nun.
I saw one where he's the nun.
Look.
He looks like E.T. is what it is.
No,
He
he
is.
looked like he praying, but it's too late for that. That like people need to stop finding
blanket
Jesus after they get in
90-degree
trouble,
weather.
right?
It's like, just let me be.
RV and Richard said Kid Rock got a flyby. This would be done quick. Well,
Yeah, I don't.
well, put it this way. You know why it's going to get lost? Because he's going to get treatment in another country.
Yeah. No, I think he'll probably. He'll probably end up getting something lower, I'd imagine. But
he probably should end up getting a damn driver.
Well, is he like a legally mandated driver?
I mean, whatever. Like whatever. Like, you know what? The judge should say, Tiger, take some time off from being behind the wheel. So get yourself a driver, and then we'll go from there. You know.
We'll take a break. We'll tickle Leroy's fancy coming up next. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to tickle Leroy's banter. Go around the weekend slate, see what Leroy's interested in. Leroy, are you ready?
I am ready.
Starting off this afternoon at 1:35, Marlins, Yankees from Yankee Stadium. Leroy, does that game tickle your fancy?
Yes, is whatever I'm doing around the house, I can put in my earbuds, listen to the game. Baseball is, if you ain't got nothing to do or you out and about, put in some earbuds and listen to a baseball game. You can get a full picture. It's not like other sports.
I agree.
My
Can't wait for this.
Is tickled.
You'll be able to hear that starting at 1 o'clock. The Marlins on deck on the AM dial if you guys want to hear some baseball this afternoon. Tonight, the women's Final Four gets underway, Leroy. First off at 7 o'clock, South Carolina against UConn. Does that tickle your fancy?
Yeah, that's usually when you say South Carolina and UConn, you're normally talking about, especially, are there any two more noticeable coaches in just college basketball?
No.
Right.
I don't think so.
Throw in the coach for LSU, who wears glitter jackets. But other than that,
feathers.
Yeah, but other than that, nah, I think I'm out. Although this would have been a good national championship game. South Carolina, who's been killing it, and UConn. But
so I assume the night game then, Texas and UCLA. Does that tickle your fancy? 9:30?
No, they beat me.
What about Gabriel Jaquez? We got a Jaquez in the Final
That's
Four.
true. Nice try. No.
Okay. Wow. Brittany, is your fancy tickled? Are you gonna watch the Final Four?
Yeah, I'm excited.
But Brittany, this has nothing to do with what I think about women's basketball. This has to do more about what I'm going to be doing.
I understand.
That's not the game. I'm really I'm tired of you.
I said no.
The game has nothing to do with what your plans are. Can you just tell me if you're interested in the game or not? If we wanted to change the segment,
I'm not gonna lie.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I don't want this.
Why can't it be it's my reasons for why I'm not interested?
The game is not, does this fit into Leroy's schedule? The game is, does this game tickle your fancy? That's what
Leroy,
the game is.
And Leroy would say this: if the game tickled my fancy, I would move around the other stuff that I have to do.
All right, dude.
So that's why I said no.
Okay.
Let me do the game my way I want to do it.
That's not how you do the game.
It's not Tickle Tobin's fancy.
This is why this is why you're Sergei Bobrovsky. That's not the game.
Really?
We didn't, in the spirit of the game, we, especially in non-football season, we have to divvy it up a little bit. And so I know during football season you're going to be watching football, but I need you to open your mind a little bit with this.
My mind is open.
Ethan says change the game to what's Leroy doing this weekend?
Watch the game. I'm not gonna be in my jacuzzi. No,
tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Heat Wizards. Does that game tickle your fancy?
See,
fancy, not tickled.
Why you do this?
What's the problem?
You know what you do. He complains on how I play the game, but then he throws some hand grenades up in the tickle my fancy. Whose fancy does that tickle? 3 o'clock on Saturday, Heat versus Wizards.
Would it help if it told you that's Michael B Day at the arena? Michael B's
like
getting honored.
Michael B.
He's a legend. He's our favorite. Voices our show. Does that change anything?
No.
Okay.
Because when you watch a TV, you don't see that. They might show the halftime though. They might show it.
JFix says that's literally the game. He does. I know it's crazy, JFig. It's like he thinks the game is, does this fit into my schedule? And then he gets mad if I throw something that doesn't tickle his fancy just by genuine principle. What about the Valero Texas Open? Does that tickle your fancy?
Oh, I'll be kicking. See, here's what I'm gonna do. I give you how I do it. See, golf you can watch because they catch you up during the course of the game. So I'll be golf heat until 6:09. Then I'm watching the Final Four.
Dude, stop. I don't understand. We've been doing this bit for 5 years.
And I explain it the same way every week.
I don't know. Why are you jumping ahead and Tickle My Fancy? You're ruining the game this weekend. You're ruining it.
Okay, fine. Go.
5 o'clock. Saturday. Panthers. Penguins. Does that tickle your fancy?
See, then why like if you
Because
say
you're
I'm
being a
ruining
rat
the
bastard,
game,
and that's why. That's why. That's why.
It doesn't tickle my fancy.
Fine. Sorry, cats.
No,
Fancy hot tickled.
Tomorrow night at 6:09 on TBS. Illinois against UConn. Does that tickle your fancy? Men's Final Four.
Yes, it does.
Why?
Because I'm interested in seeing who Michigan's going to play.
All righty. You're doing some scouting. Doing some scouting.
He's a scout. Even though Michigan has the much tougher game because Arizona is really good.
Tomorrow night at 7:30. The Pinks enter Miami.
You like no. See, Brittany. So he gets mad at me for doing this, right? But then he puts 5 events within a 1 hour frame.
Literally going in sequential order. That's all I'm doing.
Literally,
yeah, but
like it's the point of the game, Leroy. He's not going to give you what he knows.
Okay,
you really want to watch.
Let me do my game. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. My fancy is tickled for one reason. I want to see the new digs.
Perfect. You just did the game right. Thank you. You got it. You did the bit. Congratulations. That's all I wanted.
And
yes.
And you know what kills me about this? It's like Jennifer sits in the background waiting to pounce. She is just pouncing on me.
Yep.
That's
Deserved.
literally not the game.
Deserved.
Like, no.
It's all the
pouncing.
Payback. It's all the payback for those Oldberg jokes yesterday.
Wait, let me say something. You two should be embarrassed. Brittany and J-Fig, y'all were like two. Oh, I'm smitten. It was so bad.
No,
Tobin,
we were not.
Tobin, how bad was that? How bad?
I didn't realize it until I just saw their faces after the interview. I was like, oh.
What? Okay, see, thank you, Tobin. We were not behaving poorly when the man was right in front of us.
No, but when he left.
But as soon as he left.
Tomorrow. I missed one. At 7:05. Marlins, Yankees, Max Meyer against Ryan Weathers. Tickle your fancy?
Yes. That'll be, is it a 3-game series?
Yes.
Okay.
That's the only night game of the series.
Yes. I am. I'll like, you got to ride this wave. This will be the first time in a long time they got off to a really good start, right? Usually they have their run like middle of the year.
Tomorrow night at 8:00. UFC Fight Night. Hanato Moicano against Chris Duncan. Does that tickle your fancy? A lightweight okay, fair enough.
No.
At 8:49.
Yes.
Number 1 Michigan against number 1 Arizona in the men's Final Four on TBS. Does that game tickle your fancy, Leroy Horde?
Yes, of course.
That's it?
No,
that's it?
Wait.
After all that, all you have for me is yes, of course.
You want to hear a crazy thing? Incredible. I got a text this morning. Hey, would you be interested in going to the game?
You should go.
No.
Why not?
Dude, okay. I'm going to go see a game on Saturday and then get home late on Easter Sunday.
100% whoever asked you that probably taking you on the Ross PJ.
No, I don't know if it's Ross's, but there's some connections.
All right.
There's some. Why
not?
Yes.
Would you go for the championship?
No.
Why not, dude?
Because
Then you golf a little bit in Arizona.
So here's the deal. One, I appreciate holidays and family more than most because when I played football, I never really got to enjoy them.
Monday's not a holiday.
No, but I'm gonna be gone on Sunday if I do it that way. Either have to leave or come back on Sunday.
Okay.
And so to me, that's more important than anything. So that's one of the reasons why. And the other thing is nothing like committing to something and then your team don't even play.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they do it now, the Final Four, you got to buy both games.
I heard Jaime on Zach Lowe's podcast. He said that he bought his ticket to go to the championship for his sister if they win this game. So he's already got his travel accommodation should they win. They'll leave after the Wizards game.
Okay.
So
but that's so that's why a lot of things that I get invited to I just don't, because of if it falls near or around the holiday, I want to make sure I'm with my family on those holidays.
Tomorrow night. Oh, I'm sorry. It's in the afternoon, actually, because it's in England. Skip this one. 2:00. Deontay Wilder fights Derek Chisora in a heavyweight main event on DAZN. Does that tickle your fancy?
Yes, if I can catch it, I will. I will say this. Deontay Wilder talks a lot of trash, but he hasn't been lately,
He's old.
I know, but
He's
still.
like 40.
Is he 40?
He's old, dude. Yeah.
How old is Fury?
37, I think.
Okay, so
These guys are getting up there.
Yeah.
But Deontay Wilder, I think, is he's 40 years old. He'll be 41 in October.
You know what I hate about boxing? You spend 3 or 4 years trying to get the fight that you always want to see. Then when you finally get it and then you get the rematch, they're too old to fight.
Yeah, but I can't really give him that criticism. The only one that he didn't do was AJ, but
right.
I mean, he fought Fury in his prime. I think if he wins and Usyk wins, they're probably going to fight. I mean, Usyk's going to kill him, but if he's able to beat Chisora, I think that's probably what's going to happen.
Okay.
Kind of like the last big name that Usyk hasn't fought is Wilder.
Right.
So we'll see on that. That is Tickle My Fancy, ladies and gentlemen. That is Tickle My Fancy here on a
Thank
Friday.
you for being so understanding to tickle my fancy.
Right?
Right?
Well, I wish you were more understanding of the game.
I am.
Yeah, not really. Not your best work.
My best work. Wait. Why don't you bring Betty Vince to the party? You going up the sports list? Every event. Rule number 1 for Leroy. He doesn't really like going back and forth. When you give me 3 events, events at the same time.
I gave you 2 events at the same time. That's it. I gave you the UFC, which I was just doing as a jokey joke, and I gave you soccer at the same time as Michigan. So,
Leroy, that's the point of the game.
And you said I only want to tune in to watch the stadium. I said, perfect. That's all I wanted. That's how you play the game. But it was like,
I want to see what the stadium looks like.
It's not about the watchability of the game. It's about the actual.
Well, I've always thought about it as if my fancy's tickled, I'm going to watch it.
That's not necessarily the case all the time, though. We have lives.
If that was it, it would be like the game would be, I'm not leaving my couch for this one. That's not Tickle My Fancy. Tickle My Fancy is like, okay, maybe I'll check it out. Maybe I'll pop it on. Maybe I'm interested in that. That's what Tickle My Fancy is. I think it speaks for itself. You're making it something that it's not, which is, does it fit in my schedule? I'll change the game.
Right.
I'll change the game for next week.
Okay. All right.
Instead of, oh, you fancy, huh? It'll be like, does this fit in your schedule? Something like that.
Stop. Well, sometimes something tickles my fancy so much, I'll make sure that I'm home for it.
I'm real busy. I gotta play some golf. Does this game it fits into my schedule?
You know what? You can't avoid being an ass. You just can't. You can't. You like.
Take a break. The Dolphins, they're getting ripped by anonymous sauces. Next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to our headlines this hour, which are brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your price. See Joe at Doral Kia. Visit us at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. The Marlins, they are back in action coming up today. 1:35 is your first pitch from the Bronx as they take on the 5-1 New York Yankees. Here we got the lineup for today as everybody is looking forward to this series getting going. You got Jacob Marcy leading off for the Fish. Xavier Edwards, Augustine Ramirez is the DH today. The hottest man in baseball, Liam Hicks, is catching tonight and this afternoon, and hitting cleanup. Otto Lopez behind him. Owen Casey. We basically have the fortress of Canadian solitude there in the middle of the lineup. Liam Hicks, Otto Lopez, Owen Casey. Good luck, dudes. You got no shot, Yankees.
I mean, what about them though?
What about who?
The Yankees.
Big deal. Ooh, Aaron Judge. Ooh.
Stanton.
Ooh, big. Hopefully his hamstrings can last. We'll see.
His hamstrings are fine when he just jogs.
Jazz Chisholm.
400 feet.
Ooh. Connor Norby is playing first base today. Griffin Conine's in left. And then Graham Pauley hitting ninth and playing third base. Ayuri Perez is your starting pitcher today for the Marlins. Opening day for the Yankees. So you got all those pomp and circumstance before the game as well. You go out into the whole lineup and whatnot. So we'll have that for you on
Did
the
they announce every player on the roster on the first day?
Yes, I believe for opening day they do. Yes, I do.
Okay.
I believe they do the coaching staff, everything.
All right.
The Panthers, they beat the Bruins last night, 2-1 filthy. Mackie, Samoskevich, and Sam Bennett, they scored for the Cats. Sergei Bobrovsky, 28 saves.
He looked good.
Yeah, he is. He's the best. He is the best. Tough year for the Cats, but it is what
I got to tell you, I think throughout this year, I've been even more impressed with Paul Maurice and that team based on when they come back, how hard they play, regardless of what the situation is, and how how entertaining Paul Maurice has been explaining the things that we already know.
Oh yeah. No, there's no doubt about that. He's had to deal with a lot this year. So
that that has been and look, there's a couple of things that we would normally say in these moments that we've never said all year. Fat cat syndrome, they're not playing with the same. Those guys have played hard, injured. Yep. I got nothing negative to say about that team and that coach.
No real team could withstand all the things that they've had. I think we thought, for a time that even they could rally the season and get through it without Barkov just because they did it without Kachchuck. But I
think that is probably the most telling thing of this team this year. I think we all realize how important Barkey was.
Yep.
Right? Like you talk, in years past, we talk about all of the talent that they had, right? But that centerpiece is him.
Yep. No doubt about it.
And now I can't wait till he gets back, And good, he had the whole year. Good, he's going to have a whole off season. He's not going to do what they've all done at some point and come back a little quicker than they should. So it might be a blessing in disguise that he gets to get 100% healthy with an off season.
The pretty big piece of NBA news yesterday. The Lakers got smoked by the Thunder. That's not the big news. Luka
had
that hammy, hit him in the third period. The Lakers got killed yesterday, 139-96. But Luka.
But you know what?
It looked like it got him.
I watched some of that, and here's the crazy thing about that. he was hobbling earlier in that game. It's almost like his hammy was like on the verge of getting real bad, and they kept playing him. He went in at half, came out.
Rough.
Down 35.
That's tough. And especially, I mean, he's been killing it, dude. I mean, that is, because I mean, we're talking, season's got 9 regular days left. You'll get a week off because they're not in the play-in. And maybe he'll be back in, so like 2.5 weeks.
I would say, I'm trying to think of how long when I did my hammy, and keep in mind I tore mine. 2 to maybe 3 weeks, right? Keep in mind he's not a fast mover anyway. You know what I mean?
He's not, but he does a lot of footwork and movement and stuff like that. So
I don't know. So say he's gonna get 3 weeks.
About if he were to be back for the playoffs a little bit, the playoffs probably start like the 18th, I think, is when they
I know going. One thing, I wouldn't play him another game.
No, you shouldn't. You got 5. What do they got? 5 games left?
5. But then the other thing is
they're not in Playinville. Like they're going to be
5th seed, 4th or 5th.
The 3.5 up. It'd be that they'd have to lose out, and they got a Jazz game in there. Like
they got a Jazz game.
They got a Jazzer. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I mean, it's not an easy schedule. They got Dallas tonight. They should. I mean, I think LeBron and Austin Reeves could beat that team, or Sunday night. Excuse me. Thunder, they'll obviously lose. Golden State.
Yeah, but how do you see? Here's the crazy thing about the West.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, when you're trying to rest everybody, the Spurs and OKC got to keep playing because they're pretty close.
That's why they're going to get killed by OKC again. Steph might be back for the Warriors game, but the Warriors don't really have much to play for right now either.
Are they not even in the play-in?
No, they are in the play-in, but but they can't even get to 9th in the play-in. Like,
oh, so they're locked in the 10th?
Yeah, the only team that's not completely out of the play-in, but they will be soon, is Phoenix. So their play-in is locked in almost. And so the only thing the Lakers would be really playing for is, do they want to play Minnesota in the first round or Houston? I guess that's still not even determined quite yet, but so
they match up probably better against Dallas. I mean, against Minnesota.
I don't know. I mean, they beat Houston pretty soundly this month twice.
Yeah,
but they can't really jockey that position because those guys are close. So yeah, you're probably just better off resting Luka and even probably LeBron down the stretch too. So you're as fresh as you could be for the playoffs. And if it's 4-5, it's 3-6. I guess the big, because it's not like you can't really like play those games. It's not like there's a great, easy, or even second round matchup because it's either San Antonio or OKC.
Yeah.
So there's that. For the Heat, they're 10th. They're still right there with Orlando.
Any chance of being 11th and being out of it?
No, people keep asking that. No, they're locked into the play-in. Well, they're not locked in. I'm sorry, they're not locked into the play-in. They are, but they're not falling out of the play-in at least.
Okay, that's what. Okay,
there's still a chance they could be 6th, but it's not looking great.
Well, first of all, you're making some assumptions here. You're assuming that, huh? You're not. But I'm saying to say they could possibly get the 6th. You're assuming they can go ahead and win these last 5 games.
I'm just saying mathematically they could be 6th.
Yes. Okay, I got you.
They could be 6th, but it's not likely. They are behind Orlando. They would have to finish ahead of Orlando by record to get the home game for the play-in. This is the saddest standings of all time. Charlotte is 8th.
It's not even like the West. The West is like it's a lot of jostling, a lot of good teams. Right. Like the East is like
Charlotte is 8th, and then Toronto has fallen into the play-in, and the Heat have Toronto twice next week. So, and Toronto's beaten them already twice this year. So that's what we got. That's where the Heat are looking at right now. Happy, joy, everybody.
Looking at Playinville.
All hail. Right where they are, always.
Yep.
That's where they reside. So that's that with the Heat. The Pinks. The Heat will practice today. Maybe we'll get an update on Norman Powell because he's missed the last few games with this illness. The Pinks get going tomorrow, 7:30 against Dawson FC. And, of course, they are christening new stadium. Mark Anthony singing the national anthem. So those are your headlines there. We'll take a break. When we come back, get a little Dolphins as some of their maneuvers this offseason getting called into question. Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Jennifer.
Volume sounds off, yeah? Sounds like your mic's all the way down.
Yeah, it is a mile away.
I was getting such high levels too.
Now,
How about now?
now you sound like you're eating your microphone.
How about now?
A little bit higher. But you got to keep talking because moving your head does not.
How about now?
It's better, but it's not quite what it usually is.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, I'll figure it out.
Like a little lower from where you are now. Almost there, Goldilocks. Almost just right now. I don't hear you at all.
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when you're, focused on didgeridoo,
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That's what
She
happens.
doesn't even have a microphone to defend herself.
Please.
Now she got slow. She's
back.
She's back.
Please.
See, all it took would be to make another Carlos Olberg comment, and you got your mic fixed.
Listen, we behaved very well. Okay, I don't really
What?
appreciate the slander. We
You
behaved
guys-
just fine when he was in the building. Okay?
You got so excited you were holding hands.
No, that was called support.
Leroy, what we tell you behind closed doors doesn't need to be shared with the radio
Minus one.
audience.
Minus
All
one.
right. All right. All right.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna start sharing things you tell me in private too.
Yeah, for real.
That's not cool.
I know it's not.
He just did it to us.
Yeah, but
So-
it wasn't a secret. You guys were wearing it on your face. You couldn't help. Like I haven't seen
You
guys
said
smile
no.
like
You
that
know what? You
since
just
the
boxed
game.
yourself in because you said you didn't even notice when
Yeah,
you were on the
said you didn't
segment.
even- yeah,
No,
you said you
not
didn't
in
even-
segment. Once he was gone.
Once we got into that
Yeah,
hallway.
once he was gone, that's
But
a
he
different
wasn't.
story.
Yeah, but he wasn't gone. His entourage was there. He was a room over, still doing interviews. And then they
Okay,
hightailed
the
him
door.
outta here.
Look,
I
listen.
think they
It's
were
not
uncomfortable.
glass. Where we were, it was closed set. Okay.
You say
Listen.
so.
You're also lying because when we came back from that segment after he was
Mhm.
on, you were just waiting for the moment to strike. When have you
Wow.
ever asked us?
That
Hey,
hurts.
Brittany J. Fig, who are you rooting for, huh? Like
Well,
you never.
You've
You
never
guys-
asked. Actually,
you
that's
guys-
true.
well, we
You've
had-
never asked.
We've never had both sides of the main event in studio like that. It was a natural question.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Because
so
we've
that's-
had
Well,
several interviews where
was
you
buttering
We may
interviewed.
not have had them. We may have not had both guys in studio on the same day, but we did once do one where we had both fighters on at the same time.
That was a long time ago. That was like back in COVID days, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Mm.
that was a while ago.
You were buttering us up,
Hmm.
waiting for the moment to strike.
Dude, I
Interesting.
got to tell you.
I don't like these accusations being thrown at me.
We don't
Yeah,
like
we-
it.
You don't like your
Very
accusation.
rude.
Hey,
Leroy, if I'm
when-
not asking natural questions, I'm just keeping everybody
Hey,
involved in the show.
All I know is when he came
Great
in the
timing,
room, they went. "Mm."
Listen, Leroy, it started way before the room. More like the elevator. I was like,
Oh, you went got him. You
I
went
come
got him.
from
You
a
were
land
like,
down under.
It might have started even before that.
Oh man! All right, so there's this report from the Athletic. They broke down all the chatter from the off season from the meetings, and you got anonymous executives, Leroy, ripping the
Mhm.
Dolphins off season. This
why?
is from I'm going to give you the reason. This is what they
All right.
said. This is from Mike Sandow. He said on the Dolphins moves, one exec told him, quote, "To me, this is 2019 all over again." The story writes, back then the Dolphins signed veteran QB Ryan Fitzpatrick with a bunch of newcomers. They entered the NFL season with the lowest Vegas win total, but secured fifth pick in the draft, unable to draft Joe Burrow. And they used their fifth pick on Tagovailoa, only to realize that Fitzpatrick was better. Ownership forced Tagovailoa into the lineup, and it wasn't pretty. Oh, that was the next year. He said, quote, "They should not have signed Malik Willis," the exec said. "They should have taken the full Tua cap hit charge in one season. They should have gone with Quinn Ewers and just played out the season." The fear is the Dolphins will select a quarterback early in 2027, only to realize that Willis is better. Then again, if Willis shows real upside, the Dolphins might not need to select a QB. Quote, you should know enough with Willis to know that many of his throws are flare-outs and simple stuff. So unless you're planning to run the offense like that, what are you doing? I also don't think they got enough for Jalen Waddle. They got equivalent to the 25th pick in the draft. It should have been a lot more. I don't know what he thought they were going to get.
First of all, there you go. He lost all credibility there.
And then just to wrap it up, it says, does anyone like what the Dolphins are doing? A third exec said, give me another idea. They will have as many minimum salary guys in their 53-man roster as any team in the league. The problem is that they have an absentee owner and some really empowered people in the front office, including the president. If you're the GM, it's a tough situation.
Okay. So let me attack the second portion of it. They want every owner to be Jerry Jones. Like most owners aren't hands-on, right? They hire the people that they want doing that job. Now, I will say, if you want to knock the owner, you can knock him for being too loyal and letting things play out when clearly you can see where it's going. I understand that. But to say the reason why your franchise is bad is because your owner is not hands-on, most of the time when the owners are hands-on, it's not that great either.
Yeah, nobody really seems to dig. I mean, listen, the Browns are going through that too with Haslam. Like it seems like if he would stick his beak out of things, that maybe they'd be in a better place than where they are right now. But
right, so that's just an unfair analysis. The other thing is this. Okay, the two guys that brought in Malik Willis brought him in, and they know more about him than anyone.
Right.
Including the clown that wrote about Malik Willis. The other thing is that it is extremely hard to field a team with half of your salary cap unavailable. So everybody understands the difficulties that the Dolphins have. You're then going to critique how they spend half of the salary cap? Like, it seems crazy.
He obviously came into a bad situation, but I think the thing I respect about what they're doing is they're not exact. Like, I don't know if the Dolphins will be good this year. Probably not. But I do at least respect that. It would have been the easy thing would have been, let's just suck, be the worst, be terrible, and then we'll see what happens. But you're still going to probably, even with that being the case, you still probably had to split up the two a dead hit. You just did. You have to field a football team.
Right.
Which, by the way, I mean, Sully said in many media interviews since that, like, they're going to be players next year in free agency. Like, probably not irresponsible players, but they're going to be able to be active like they weren't this past year.
They're not as far as salary cap able to. So, like, you can watch film. Say they watched all the film. Those two guys sat in there and they have decided where they need help. The only way you can get that help is through the draft. You can't sign anybody to fill that void that's going to be of the quality that you want because you don't have any money. And to think, I would like to know, what does he see? I love when people comment on what a team did or a person did without a solution. He thinks they could have got 2 first-rounders for Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, another
like, what is he like? I was shocked they got a first-rounder.
I wasn't shocked, but I feel like that's the deal. Like, you're not getting 2 first-round picks or a first and a second for Jalen Waddle. I don't know. Maybe the guy loves Jalen Waddle. I don't know. But I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that felt like a perfectly fair trade for me.
Right now, the Dolphins are kind of low-hanging fruit because you can criticize them on what they're doing without acknowledging the fact they can't really do anything. And that's unfair.
I already feel like they've done more than I thought they could do because I didn't think they were going to be able to get Malik Willis.
Right.
I was sitting here. I was like, oh, so, like the way that people were talking about Malik Willis, and the fact that he
was going to go get $30 million a year.
Yeah, just the fact that they got a guy that they believe in, that they've seen, he's still somewhat of a prospect. I mean, I don't think we could be lost on that. Like, he's not a finished product. But they're not that. I think the easy thing for any exec to come in here is, all right, let's just stink up the joint.
Right.
And be terrible, and we'll be terrible, and then we get to start getting to work. But I appreciate at least Sully is trying to get to work right away on this team. Is it going to work? I don't know. I don't know if he's going to be any good at his job. I don't know if Hafley's going to be any good at his job. But I'm a little confused on people who, and the other thing is, this is an organization that, yeah, okay, in 2019, it's cute to say it didn't work now. But the problem is, when that was all happening in real time, the Miami Dolphins were under incredible national scrutiny because they were told they were putting the worst football team known to man for the first 4 weeks of the season out there. And I don't think people can really appreciate. Now, these rat bastard Bengals got to do whatever they want. Nobody cared that they were terrible organically. Right. But the Dolphins were like, oh, how could they go out there and how could they put these players in danger? How could they? Dude, there were segments every day on ESPN about it after the Baltimore Ravens game.
Single day.
And so now it's like, oh, you should just rip the Band-Aid off. It's like, well, the last time the organization did that, because if the Dolphins did do that, you don't think it'd be the same song and dance?
Listen, it's easy to sit from the outside looking in and make comments on situations you are unaware of, right? So if the Dolphins try and kind of put a Timu team together, right? Like just put young guys and guys that, they trust to come in and field the team, then people are going to say they should have just went 1-15. If they would have just said, you know what, we're going to let Quinn Ewers go, we're going to be terrible, and then we're going to be ready next year. If they would have did it that way, they would have complained that they're not even trying. So, they're in a position right now, and here's where there's certain times in your life where you know that what you're doing either way is not going to be popular or somebody's going to complain. You just stay your course. And that's what I appreciate, that from the start of this to right now, they've been pretty consistent with what they're going to do. And I'm just going to let it play out. I can't imagine, right, a team that has to go into a season with the highest dead cap in the history of the NFL.
Yep.
Like, all these people complaining. You want that? You want that job?
A dozen more minimum guys than has ever been done. And this guy's like, you should do more.
Right.
Or these guys, these execs are like, you should do more. Just take it on the chin, baby.
It's easy. It's, you know what? There's certain situations or circumstances where there's low-hanging fruit. So if I want to criticize somebody, right, I'm going to the Jets, I'm going to the Raiders, I'm going to the Dolphins, right? You're always going to have things to nitpick about, or the Cowboys with the meddling owner.
Yeah, but I almost feel like the Dolphins, it's weird. It's like people, when the Dolphins have something that they're either trying to do, people seem to, maybe I'm doing this from a persecution complex, but I don't feel like the Jets get that kind of stink on them. Like, I feel like the Jets are like, oh, they're the Jets. Like, they're trying, it's working out. Like,
maybe it's expectations. Maybe they look at this storied franchise and think they shouldn't be on the same level with the Jets.
I don't know. But I'm trying to figure it out, because you have, and I think it's a hard thing to just be, to these coaches and players, be like, oh yeah, just be terrible. Because how many people are looking at Aaron Glenn right now and saying, like, this guy sounds like an ass clown. Like, he's lost a ton of games, and now he's saying Geno Smith is going to take him to the promised land. It's like, that guy, I guarantee.
And that just went one night and it's over.
Yeah, but if you just, once you have that on your resume, that you lost basically every game, I don't think Jeff Hafley is going to come here the next year and be like, and everybody in the fan base is going to give that guy the benefit of the doubt. I like the fact that at least in this first year, I could judge them on something, because if it would have been so lazy and easy to go about this year and just be like, we're terrible. will be terrible.
Right.
Like, oh, that's a thought process. Anybody could do that. You could have AI do that.
But here's the problem with that. That the guys that you have on the team that you want to keep, that you want to set a culture or a tone of how you're going to play, you don't have those guys, right? There's a difference in trying and showing effort and then losing versus having a team saying we're going to be bad and just accepting it. There's a big difference, because when you build a team in the future, the first thing anybody's going to say is, let's get rid of all the losers. And guys get caught up in that because they haven't won, or they lost a whole bunch of games. Like,
you don't have like this great grasp of like who's going to be the top guy. Because even Joe Burrow's incredible season, like, all came together that year of him being the bar none guy to go to. Tua was the only guy, and Trevor Lawrence are like the only guys of recent memory that people were like, oh, we're following that guy. Maybe a little of Caleb Williams, a little bit.
Right.
But, look at Fernando Mendoza this year. Look at Cam Ward the year before that. Nobody saw those guys as the number one picks the year before.
Right.
Prior, Cam Ward was a fifth-round pick,
Correct.
And then had to come to the U.
When you look at all the quarterbacks that were going to be the highest rated, and they were talking about 4 or 5 quarterbacks going in the first round, when you look back, some of those guys aren't even first or second day draft guys.
No.
So, so just let it play out. I think everybody understands the situation. And I say, if you have a problem with the team this year, it's not going to be the fact that they win or lose games, but you want to see effort. You want to see them play in a way that, okay, if I just plug in better players, this is going to have a different outcome. Kind of like what Brian Flores did. I'm just throwing it out there. One games with guys like that was the same year they were complaining about they're getting players hurt, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing is like they, and look, there's obviously other circumstances because we found out, or it was alleged that Brian Flores was offered money to lose,
Right.
But dude, like the Dolphins when they went into that plan, and it was very clear that they were going to tank. That's what Stephen Ross wanted. He wanted them to stink.
Right.
He wanted them to do that. That's why Adam Gase didn't stick around. Like that's the plan that he wanted to go with. And it was so bad the first month of the season.
Right.
People like wanted them relegated. They wanted people in taken away for crimes against the sport of football.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, like for whatever reason, that was the only tanking in the history of tanking people were offended by, because the Bengals got to tank, the Panthers got to tank, the Jaguars got to, all these other teams, they just got to be terrible. And everybody was
Chicago.
like, yeah, the Raiders, like nobody cared. That was the only time I had seen people rise up and be like, this cannot stand. And so, yeah, the Dolphins, he ended up playing Fitzpatrick more. And I guess that was annoying because, they ended up winning more games than they should have. But also they were kind of pressured into it in some way too, because they were the only team that was getting hell for what they were doing.
Right.
So I don't know, man. I'm not here to tell you Malik Willis is the answer or isn't the answer, but I can tell you I at least have an appreciation that it feels like football will have a meaning to tune into the games this year, and I'm excited to see what it can do. If it's a disaster, then okay, that's going to go the way. If it's, your hope is, I guess, it's not just like mediocre and, at that point of like 7-9 and 9-7 and they overvalue or undervalue. Like you just hope that direction, that certainty like continues. You hope that they don't sign a bunch of broke down injured guys.
Oh, no.
Sorry. I didn't mean to flare up some old wounds.
I don't want them to sign hurt guys that come in hurt and then you act shocked when they hurt. Right? That's the craziest thing to me. And I would say, based on the way this year is going, they might be one of the youngest football teams in football. That much I believe.
Yeah.
They might only have a handful of 30-plus-year-olds on the team.
But now all of a sudden everybody wants to like tank for all right. Cool. I don't know. It's just annoying. Take a break. Mixed bag next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Hey, let's give away those Disturbed tickets because it is Jennifer's favorite band.
They're the best.
They are, yes, there you go. That's how you're supposed to do it, Jennifer.
They are the best. They will
They are coming to the Hard Rock Live in July. If you guys want to go, what caller number would you guys like to do today?
Caller number 5.
Caller 5 to 305-567-0560. Caller 5 to 305-567-0560. We'll get a pair of tickets to see Disturbed at Hard Rock Live. Caller 5 to 305-567-0560. And that is that. That is that. Let us get to the mixed bag here on a Friday. The mixed bag is brought to you by frozen in chocolate peanut butter Easter eggs, which Leroy is going to consume at a crazy rate by next week.
I said hi to him when I left the store this morning.
You said hi to them?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
You know what I said? Hello, Easter eggs.
Hello, friends.
Hello, friends. I'll see you on Monday when you're on the table. The 50% off table. Because God forbid a Reese's peanut butter cup that you upcharge for be shaped like the wrong thing during the wrong time of year. So if Christmas comes around, you can't have a peanut butter cup shaped like an egg. It has to be shaped like a tree so you can upcharge. Still the same amount of peanut butter.
I don't like it in a tree.
The same price.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it in a tree.
No, I like the egg. I like the egg. And sometimes when I'm really feeling it, I really don't want to be bothered with the paper that's around the outside of it. Like, you know, when you get the regular Reese's and you got to unfold it from the,
let's get to this. We talked a little bit about this off the top of the show today after the Panthers' thrilling win. That Brady Kachchuck was in a little bit of hot water up in Ottawa, who got a win against the Buffalo Sabres, and this was him getting grilled by the media about Papa Kachchuck maybe taking some at Brady's teammates.
Talks about the podcast, the last one you did with your dad, and some comments made about how players handle injuries and any goalies playing back to that. Were you able to clarify what your dad might have meant?
Yeah, I mean, being a part of it and rewatching it, I mean, I think it was pretty clear he was talking about Florida. Yeah, I don't know how that got turned and misconstrued, but no, it happens. But I mean, I know in there, I thought it was clear as day he was talking about Florida, but all that other stuff and just people taking it and twisting it, just nothing I can do about it.
So you don't think your dad made a shot at Linus at all?
I don't think, and I talked to him after, there was not one shot. So, I don't know how that got twisted and have to talk about it now, but I thought it was clear as day. He's talking about the Florida Panthers.
Or any of the clips about ice time? I know your dad.
Yeah, I mean, I've answered twice now, so I mean, it's nothing I can say that what people twist and say. I know what I was a part of it, and all those things didn't come out of my mouth. And I mean, I completely respect my dad. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. So I mean, I'm not going to put words in his mouth or explain what he said. He's just, if you know him, he's an outgoing guy. He says kind of what he thinks, and I know it's comes from a good place.
He kind of looks like the blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy with the hair thing.
With the
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's the one he came up with, though, huh? He was talking about the Panthers.
Wait, I mean, first of all, he can never do this show with a straight face because dude was serious. Oh, he was talking about the Panthers. Like, really?
You think Matthew texts him? He goes, "That's what you came up with?"
Yes. I'm like that right there. Could you imagine you say, "Yo, brother, really?" Really? The only thing missing in those comments was, "That's fake news."
That's crazy.
That's the only thing missing.
No. He told me. It's like, "Dad, you were talking about Sergei Bobrovsky, right?" He's like, "What? Why would I talk about Sergei Bobrovsky? You guy's a legend."
Now, if you really want to See, because here's one of those situations where it's old guy versus new guy. Go talk to his dad. Right?
Crazy, man. Also, this was interesting. Jaime Jaquez Jr. was on the Zach Lowe show, and he was asked about a particular interaction last year with Jimmy Butler, in that Jaime Jaquez Jr. was trying to save the Miami Heat.
Lost his joy for basketball. And I talked to someone who was in the car with him, like on maybe even on the way back from that press conference. And everyone, the way I was told to me was like people with the Heat sort of didn't know, it's like give him some time, give him some space. We're not sure what exactly is going on here. And Jimmy's phone rings. And the one guy who called him that night from the Heat was you. And what I heard was the message from Jaime was like, hey, man, we can fix this. Like, come back to us. We got a good thing going here, like trying to get things back together. Is that true?
I'm trying to remember. I think, yeah, because I did call him after one of those. I think I did call him after one of those press conferences. I was like, hey, man, like whatever problems you got, like, I think we're here. As your teammates, we're here. We want you to feel like, we got your back type of thing. So. Yeah, I do remember that. I don't know if it was right after that, but it was definitely something like that happened for sure.
What?
I think we're here.
I'm not calling him a liar.
I
But
ain't calling him a truther.
no. He could have been accurate with that. But when it comes to one thing, there ain't nothing you could say in support of Jimmy Butler. And that is when it comes to getting that extra year, when it comes to getting that money, but like, yeah, funny how he got his joy back when he got that contract. So it had more to do with that than anything,
But it's nice that Jaime, even in a year where it was only Jaime's second year, it is nice.
And he wasn't playing well.
He was not playing well. It's nice to know at least he was trying to give some support to a guy who, it definitely was burning down bridges at the time. I remember there was a time where there was one press conference where Jimmy did look around the locker room. He's like, I don't know who checked in on me and who didn't, even though he was saying the whole time, this has nothing to do with my teammates.
Right. I would say that in moments like that, right? When you appreciate your teammates and you reach out to them or not reach out to them, right? Because what Jimmy fails to realize is he thought everybody on the team would be supportive of him. That's the indication he was given. I know who called me and who didn't. And there may have been some players in that locker room that were upset at the way he was going about it. So why would he expect a phone call? Like that's crazy talk right there. When at no point in time did you say, listen, I don't want to put my teammates and my friends in this bad spot, but this is between me and the organization. At any point, he could have said that and maybe calmed the other stuff down. But I've been in locker rooms where guys take you not being team guy personal, right? They take that personal and expect them to then call you in support of that? Nah, that's not fair either.
It was a super awkward night in the locker room too.
Sure.
Tyler was like scooting out of there. He's like, this is
right.
It was not something that everybody was like, oh, like this is all peaches and cream on this stuff.
Because here's another thing. As a teammate, right? If you played with Jimmy for 2 or 3 or 4 years, right? You thinking of all those moments. You thinking of all how you go back and forth with one another. And then all of a sudden, boom, out. And you want a response from me? You want me to, what about all the, the bromance stuff we had going on before and the jokes and the laughs or whatever? That's what has to carry us through when we're struggling.
We'll fix it. What do you want to see happen to fix it?
What do I want to see happen? I want to see me get my joy back from playing basketball. And wherever that may be, we'll find out here pretty soon. But I want to get my joy back. I'm happy here, off the court. But I want to be back to somewhat dominant. I want to hoop, and I want to help this team win. Right now, I'm not doing that.
Can you get your joy back here on the court?
Probably not.
So now, did you listen to that? And
Mm-hmm.
let me ask you, if you're a teammate of Jimmy's, you think you're reaching for your phone to give a phone call to a guy that said, you don't make me happy?
Well, that's why I'm surprised that Jaime did it.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like
Go ahead, Brittany. What did you want to say on it?
No, I was just saying, like, I don't think it's shocking because I think Jaime and him had a very good and close relationship along with him and Nico. And actually, after this clip has been circling with him talking on the podcast, there is a clip on Twitter that's been going around of when Jimmy came back from his suspension and Nico and Jaime are like trying to hype him up before the game. And he literally gives him like this like death stare.
I remember that.
Don't you dare.
They were trying to include him back, and it was super because he wanted to just stand off to the side and they wanted to like be nice to him and try and like get him going. And he just didn't. He wanted to disconnect. He was hopeful that he could make it as awkward as possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, he was trying to make a big stink of things. And so,
was he?
Like, but I think that's what's like annoying. Like, if I was Jaime, I would be like, I didn't talk to him. I don't know what you're talking about. I'd be
that's the
embarrassed.
thing.
Kind of miss him though.
When you have, like, I've had situations where guys have been in contract disputes or going at it with the coaches or they wanted to be out of there or what have you. And at no point in time did the relationship between the players was affected because if they put the uniform on, they balled and they, because you feel a responsibility to the other guys on the team.
Mm-hmm.
Necessarily the organization or the coach, but once you put that uniform on, you got to carry your own weight for the other guys, and that's the part that Jimmy misunderstands because he's giving mixed messages the whole time. I'm just gonna go out and hoop. I'm just gonna go out. Oh, I'm not happy. Wouldn't make me have being somewhere else, and then say I understand. I know who called me and who didn't. Why? You don't want to be here.
But I think that's the thing with Jimmy Butler, though. It's like in what point in his career has he ever cared about anybody but himself?
That's what it's starting to look like. Because every situation, as long as he was happy, he made everybody else happy. When he didn't get what he wanted and he wasn't happy, everybody else was going to be miserable.
You guys don't kind of miss him though, like all the
Nope.
fun and
I do not miss that.
A little bit, like yes, not bad behavior, but there were good times too.
No, you know why I don't miss that? I don't miss that for guys like Bam and Tyler and Khalil and Jaime
Really
and
got to see him
Jovic,
well,
all those guys that really thought he was one of us.
Could have paid him and he would have been happy. And like, what are we going to do? We're not even going to do anything with that money next year anyway.
But the thing is like we weren't even in a position with him the last 2 years. We were in the same position that we're in right now.
That's only because he got hurt, though. That's only because he got hurt.
I understand that, but he was going out there, Tobin, and like chucking up threes for no reason. That's not even his game.
Not for no reason. I mean, they didn't pay him. He was making a mistake. He wasn't professional.
So again, I make you a teammate of Jimmy, and then you see him sabotage and shoot one-legged threes. You want a phone call? He expects a phone call?
There would have been any sabotaging if they would have paid him. That's all I'm saying.
Tobin,
can you understand why they didn't pay him? Because I can.
Not really. Actually, right now, that's my biggest issue with it, Brittany, is I don't understand why they didn't pay him because what have they done with the money? They haven't done anything.
Okay,
that's my trying, but they didn't
Tobin,
do anything.
2020.
Tobin.
That's hindsight 2020.
It's not hindsight 2020. That was my exact point with it. It's like, what are you going to get with the money? What are you going to do? You have to do, Leroy. You have to do something. I understand why you wouldn't pay Jimmy, like the red flags that would be there, but you have when you're doing risk reward. Well, what are you going to do with things that are less risky with the money you were so afraid to spend on? I know I say this while his knee is torn to bits. But that wouldn't have happened if things would have been here. So all I'm saying is what I want to know is what are they going to do with this money that they were so against giving Jimmy Butler? And if you're telling me, because he was a pain in the ass and he was a diva behind the scenes, okay, dude, fine. Like that's grown up behavior.
Tobin, what has plagued this team for the last 4 years?
Injuries.
Got injuries. So and Jimmy never played more than 55.
Yeah, but when he did.
60. No, but when again was a long time ago. That wasn't recent.
Dude, it was a fluke injury. Kelly Oubre shouldn't have been there.
You can't like See, you wanted to pay Jimmy, but you're overlooking one of the main reasons why the Heat had a problem. Like they had too many guys.
They got a problem with everybody. But hold on. But they have a problem with everybody. Nobody's good enough for this franchise except for Bam. Everybody right now has a red flag. I guarantee you they will do the same thing with the Giannis sweepstakes this summer again. We're like, well, we don't know if we want to go. A lot of leg injuries. I guarantee when they miss out on him, because they don't pull off any trades anymore, Brittany. They don't. They have a caveat or an excuse every single time. Oh, well, we didn't want to give up that much for Damian Lillard, or Joe Cronin was a big meanie. Every single time they got an excuse or a counterpunch. Well, if you guys are so scared to give him this money, then you better do something with that money next year, because you haven't done jack squat with it yet. For all this talk about Jimmy Butler, you haven't done anything with it yet. And meanwhile, you're still getting kicked in the head by the Celtics every single time you face them. So, okay, I'll hear you, but you better have a solution, because your solution can't just be, we let him go.
So here's the other problem is that your solution can't be, let's just accept what we have a problem with. That's not a solution.
Yeah, but did they have a problem, or they really were just being on?
You don't think with guys not playing basketball games?
You guys are arguing two different things. I'm not defending Jimmy Butler's behavior. I'm talking about why it went awry. Your argument to not pay him, which is why he ended up the way that he did.
Well, I think that it came out after the fact. I mean, he wouldn't show up to games. He was a major diva. You don't think that also he's aging.
A basketball player's a diva? That's new.
No, I understand that, but when you have he's standing next to Bam Adebayo, who's like the epitome of like the perfect person for a franchise.
That's right. Not everybody is going to act the same. Not all artists play the guitar the same.
But the Heat have a pedigree that they uphold their players to.
Yeah,
and I feel like a lot of that, and it goes back to LeBron James. You don't think that it has a lot to do with why the relationship with LeBron went the way that it did? It was because maybe we don't like having too big of egos in our locker room.
Brittany, respectfully. When LeBron left, they were heartbroken. Pat Riley, it ruined his relationship with Dwayne Wade because he felt like he was stabbed in the back.
Yes.
LeBron left the Heat and left them high and dry.
You don't understand. You don't think that's like LeBron also felt that he wasn't a big thing. It was like he wasn't getting along very well with the organization.
That's on the Heat then. Then maybe the Heat need to look at themselves in the mirrors of why they can't.
Saying the Heat aren't perfect. I'm not saying the Heat are perfect. I'm just saying based on what we've known. And based on what we know about Jimmy Butler and the relationship that he was the culture that he was cultivating in the locker room of who he was compared to everybody else, plus his injuries, plus that fact that he's an aging star, I understand why they didn't want to pay him.
You can say, look, I can understand the red flags of not wanting to pay him too, but you can't have these red flags of not wanting to pay. It's the same thing that happened with D Wade when they didn't want to pay him. They're like, oh, we have these aging superstars. And what do? They paid Dion Waiters. They paid Hassan Whiteside. You can't say we have all of these trepidations of paying somebody and then you don't do anything smart with the money. You do have to take care of your stars. If you're going to put up all these red flags, then you need to at least go to your fan base and be like, but this is the plan. And the problem with the Heat is they like to make it seem like everybody's a big meanie pants and that's why we couldn't have them around, instead of you kind of feel like you guys were on the cheap skis and they've done nothing with the money.
Is it for lack of trying, or they just?
I don't want to hear about trying. Enough of telling me about trying. You got an explanation and a song and dance why you haven't done anything.
But
enough of that.
You can't.
That's
blame
the problem.
Them if they didn't.
I can blame them. I can. You're wrong. I can blame them.
I don't think that Portland was going to send Damian Lillard here, and I don't know that that's the Heat's fault. They were going to give them Tyler. They were going to give them the house, and they said no. What were they going to do in that situation? And now here's the thing. How happy would you be now, hindsight 2020, how happy would you be to giving up Khalil Ware for Kevin Durant this offseason? Would you be happy with that decision?
Yeah, I think I would have, because they don't play Khalil. Like, I'm here sitting here at the end of the year. It's the same thing. Like, if you would have said, aren't you happy in the Jimmy trade you got Yakachonis? I like Yakachonis. They don't play him. The coach won't play him. Nothing pleases them. The only person they like is Bam Adebayo. Everybody else, they can tell, oh, Bam, you're the best. Guess what? Not everybody plays like him. Some basketball players are divas. Tyler Hero shows up to the game in rain boots, and he works very hard. I'm just saying, like, he does, but Bam does not wear rain boots. Like, dude, not everybody is Bam Adebayo, and they need to get that out of their head. Anyway, we got to take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on FM 104.3 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to our headlines brought to you by Doral Kia. You always pay less with your Pricito at Doral Kia. Visit them at Doral Kia or DoralKia.com. Marlins going to be in action in about 30 minutes from Yankee Stadium. Series opens up against the Bronx Bombers, both 5-1 on the season. Something's got to give. Hey, Yuri Perez is on the hill.
Always got to go.
I love when they do that. So we'll get that for you. You guys can hear that on the AM dial. I think pregame's going on right now. They can get you ready. First pitch set for 1:35 today as they'll start their 3-game series. Going over the weekend slate, the Miami Heat, they'll be taking on the Washington Wizards tomorrow. According to Barry Jackson from the Miami Herald, Norman Powell says that he won't play in Heat Wizards tomorrow as he gets back from an upper respiratory illness. He says he was very sick. Tyler Hero, who has foot soreness, is probable.
Foot soreness?
That's what he says, yeah.
From what? Jumping, not guarding.
Wow.
I mean,
Look at that.
the only thing should be sore in that picture is his thumbs from holding the.
And now, Ole Twin 1 and Ole Twin 2. Ole. Who was it? Was it
when Tyler goes into the game, he says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, who was it? Dane South who said they need to throw roses at them on the court.
Oh my goodness.
Tobin, why do you have a rose? Oh, no reason.
Put in your mouth.
Yeah. So you got that. Barry also tweets out, for the Heat fans who have asked about Spoelstra opting for Drew Smith the past 2 games, he cited how excellent he is as a zone defender, and the decision has nothing to do with Yakachonis's play. All right,
see, so here's why I have a problem with this. The saying that he uses all the time, you have to earn the right to be on the floor. And he says a lot that him not playing had nothing to do with what he's doing on the floor. Right? Like this team's not deep enough to be that situational.
Nikola Jović says, the sad thing about Norman Hero's situation is Pat's going to be like, we haven't seen them enough together healthy. We think if they're both healthy, they can win the chip. And then he gives them both extensions.
That's how it's been going here.
It has. Barry Jackson also tweets out from practice. He said, Spo came armed with data today, talking about the Heat's performance against the Celtics, saying the Heat contested 84% of the Celtics threes, which was their high this season. That's why Spo didn't criticize the team afterwards.
Okay. So I would say this. That game started off like nobody could miss a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say this is that if you get in a game with Boston, this is any team in the NBA where it's a shooting contest, they're usually going to win that game. That being said, do we have to say something about giving up 147 points? I mean,
consistently, like this has been the worst.
You gave up 80 points, 80, 81, and 79 in 3 halves in the last month.
Can we say anything about having the worst defensive month ever of your franchise's history?
So I get he's picking out certain moments, but in the end, you scored 129 points and you lost by almost 20. I don't know how what you do about that. I don't know how, like, contesting shots, like, oh, we contest them, they're just making good shots. I'm like, all right.
Ira Winneman says, I'm now Norman Powell remains congested at the moment.
Congested? Put some Vicks on it, under his nose or on his chest or something. Let's go. You play indoors. You ain't got to worry about the elements. Imagine having the sniffles and have to go out and it's 5 degrees.
Have you had the sniffles in 5 degrees?
One of my pistons wasn't operating.
Ooh.
One nostril. You're tired. You're trying to suck it. You can't get the air.
Did you break your nose? Is that why, or just stuffed up?
I don't know. It just happened. I tried to blow my nose, and then when you try to blow your nose so hard and your ear gets, I'm like, oh. There's nothing worse than being tired and only having access to one of your nostrils.
Max Camacho.
Then you become a mouth breather. That's not good.
Max Camacho says, what I didn't like about the Celtics game is that Spo didn't bench his starters and play the youth in the first half. Pop would have benched Manu, Parker, and Duncan. Oh, yeah. He loved the early time.
5 on, 5 off.
He loved that. That was his move. I
don't know. I just wish I just wish there was some consistency to the lineup for whatever reason. Right.
Same.
We see Yakachonas have a week where he's playing excellent. He's distributing. He's coming back on his turnovers. And then you hear Spo say, the reason why he didn't play is not because of what he did on the court. Isn't that the only reason why you should be playing?
Seriously.
He's the one that says that you have to earn your way onto the court. But then come back 3 games later and say he didn't play. It's not because of what he's done on the court.
Weird.
Yep.
It's just like we've gotten to this year trusting fewer people than ever. So
right.
There you go on that. And then as far as your schedule tonight, you got the women's Final Four, South Carolina and UConn, 7:00, Texas, UCLA at 9:30. Men's Final Four Saturday, that's 6:09. Illinois against UConn at 6:09, and then 8:49. Leroy's Michigan Wolverines will take on Arizona. So
yep.
Looks like
we're on the heater. My school's on the heater. We got Frozen Four, Final Four. Women got to the Elite Eight. We're on the heater.
And then finally, that quadruple amputee professional cornhole player, Dayton Weber, he's pleading self-defense in the murder case. Do with that what you will. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
I mean, he can't say it wasn't me.
Well, he's not saying it's not him. He's just saying that it was self-defense.
Self-defense. All right.
So we'll see what happens from that. We'll take a break. More to come.
I mean, I think you were expecting a little more out of that story. Let's just go to break before we get in trouble.
Take a break. Back after this. All right, let's bury some people. You're dead to me. Go around the room, say who's dead to them. You guys get it at this point. If you guys missed it, we had a very handsome individual yesterday, Carlos Olberg. And just for Jennifer and Brittany, we're going to bring that to you coming up here in about 15 minutes, just for you guys, particularly. You know
what? You're dead to me because why are you gonna be doing this? Exactly. You are my nomination for today.
Can I just
you're out here trying to make me feel so unprofessional. I did nothing wrong. Brittany did nothing wrong. We were just fine.
You guys are feeling attacked. I can understand, but all I said is I'm just doing you guys a favor and bringing back those dreamy eyes right back to the
Thank
stream.
you so much. I so much appreciate it.
Here's who's dead to me.
You made it.
Jeez.
Patrick Beverly. You stink at this. Can I just tell you? Hey, dude.
You can't do it like you play basketball.
You stink at this. Like that's just how it has to be. You know, like forget about, you know, I don't need to take any pot shots about whatever the hell happened to your podcast and all that stuff, but I just think it's sad. I think you're going out sad with all the things you're trying to do with Dwayne Wade. And I like the fact that everybody's sitting here being like, the guy's minding his own business. He didn't take any shots. And then you get all in your feelings because he responds finally. Like, finally, who should I take shots at? Never responds. Oh, Dwayne Wade. So Dwayne Wade finally responds. Now you got to feel some type of way about it. I don't like that. You can't be a sensitive bully. You can't. That's not how it works. If you were the king of trash talk on the court and Dwayne Wade sits here and is like, you know what, dude? You're not even good enough to comment on me. Yeah, maybe it hurts. Maybe it's not nice, but it's the truth. It's the truth. You're not in that class. You know? I mean, you're getting Dwayne Wade water at Heat training camp. That's nice. You've turned yourself into a heck of a player. Tip of the cap, but I just think that, you know, when it came to, oh, well, I had a better 3-point percentage. Bully for you, dude. I'm sure that every defense was game plan to be like, watch out for Bev on the wing. So he's dead to me. I don't want to hear it anymore. Silly, wasted our time, and I would like to hear it no more. But you know what? How this goes with podcasting, he'll probably end up coaching the Lakers next.
Yeah.
Who's dead to you?
So there's a couple here. One, Twitter, and I'm about to get got, but it was hilarious. I'm looking at something on Twitter, and I was looking at it earlier. Kevin Durant. I have to admit, Angel Reese is the best WNBA player I've ever seen. Angel Reese, of course. Thanks for being truthful. Kevin Durant. April Fools. Now,
I think the Twitter For You page is dead to me for you. You just can't handle it. You can't handle it.
Was that not funny though?
I mean, it was fine.
Yes. I'm like, I've been laughing for the last day at this. So I'm gonna say April Fools or Twitter in general, because I probably got. It's probably like, but it is funny.
I don't think anything's been funnier than seeing the memes that have come out of the Tiger Woods DUI.
Oh
video.
My goodness,
that has been funny.
You see how quick can I just say this? When and I'm not saying they did anything wrong, but you see how fast that video comes out when the cops ain't do nothing wrong?
Dude, I was thinking the same
thing. It was so fast.
I'm like, what did that?
We needed Congress to get video out for some stuff.
Dude,
and like that was out before he got out of jail.
Isn't that stuff supposed to like be through court first?
No, I don't know.
I don't know the rules. Never got to
crazy though how quick we got video of that.
Tell you what video we never got. We never got that Robert Kraft going to the Jupiter parlor. Hey, where's that video? You know it's around.
Did they just like upload it to iPhone right away?
Are they gonna Photoshop him in or something?
Who?
Todd Monken, right? For a second, I thought about that for a second. I'm sorry. I don't know.
You okay?
No.
For whatever reason, you were ready.
Hey, she's getting ready for that video.
Oh.
Way to pick the low-hanging fruit, Leroy.
Leave me alone, okay?
Why were you thinking about Todd Monken?
Because you were talking about pictures. Because it's hot in here.
She's not helping you, Brittany. She's not helping her case.
Me?
What am I doing?
Look, I have several things in my head, and I apologize. Yeah. But you
What's
know
your
what?
favorite?
I don't really appreciate you doing this to me.
Me? We're
Yeah.
not. No, all right.
What's your favorite fruit? Kiwi?
No. Leave me alone.
Who's that to you, Jennifer?
What?
Oh, wow.
You're
Is it not obvious? I've been saying it since yesterday.
Wow.
Wow.
Jeez. God forbid a girl is providing hospitality.
True.
Instantly, she's too nice.
That's not what we said.
That's not what we said.
That's not what we said.
Don't make us come off as ignorant.
Wait, even
Literally.
even Marcos. Man, this interview has got these girls off their game.
Off our game.
That's what
I
Fabio
don't
said.
respect the show in the slightest. Oh, we
Marcos,
stole their job.
Shut up.
Thank you.
Who's that to you, Brittany?
So I'm gonna go into some reality television. I don't know if anybody's been he's into it. Have you seen the drama surrounding Summer House?
You know, I haven't watched Summer House, so I'm a little out of the loop on this. So I think my wife watches Summer House. I don't know Summer House too well.
Well, I'll do a quick synopsis, but basically there's obviously a group of people who stay in a house for the summer. There is this girl named Sierra, this girl named Amanda, and this guy named Wes. Amanda was married to another man in the house, and he was horrible. And they ended up getting a divorce, and everybody was championing around her, very Ariana Madix, like, you finally broke free. You go,
Their
girl.
version of Scandival.
No, this is literally
coming.
that.
It's coming. It might.
But you should add though that the whole divorce thing happened like less than a month ago. By the way,
they announced that they separated like less than a month ago.
Okay.
And Sierra and Amanda were besties on the show, and she really helped her and championed around her about getting divorced. She listened to her complain about Kyle all the time. They were very close friends. Everything was great. Well, Sierra and this
hooked
guy
up with
Wes-
Kyle.
Well, don't worry about him. He's not right. He's not a problem.
nobody feels sorry for Kyle. I'm so sorry.
No one feels, yeah, he's the worst. West and Sierra had a fling for a while. And it was very much an on again, off again situation where he would come back to her and she would fall for it. And then he would, be like, oh, we were nothing. It was just a fling. And it was very situationship, very toxic. But she admitted multiple times, like, I'm in love with him. I have very strong feelings for him. And like, if he wanted to, like, if he said that we could date, I would say yes.
And this
Fast
is still
forward.
actually happening right
Yes,
now
'cause
as
there's a
it's
season
airing.
going-
This new season is airing right now. It's still
There's a
not
season-
over, and he's like constantly trying to get back with Sierra at the same time.
Wow.
He's trying to get back with her. She's like, no, yes, whatever. This is all happening currently. Well, it comes out in like in the real world, real time right now, that Amanda and West are now hooking up.
Whoa.
Her bestie?
Mind blowing.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
Girl
it comes
code
out.
broken.
They put out a statement, a we statement, not even two separate statements. They put the same statement out with the word we in it.
Damn, you need to be like,
And
married.
basically-
Are they married?
Who?
Amanda and Wes?
Amanda
No,
just
she
got
was married
divorced,
to Kyle.
right?
She
They've
just
been
separated.
they've
She's not
been
even officially
secretly
divorced.
dating.
Yeah, but they've been
This is
secretly
crazy.
dating.
You can't
this
put out a
guy.
joint statement.
Exactly.
Yeah, but what about
She's also,
Sierra?
like, committing adultery, essentially. And
What about Sierra?
Man,
she
I love
lost her
Sierra.
mind?
I feel
nobody
so
has
bad for
heard
her.
from. Nobody's heard from her yet. The
Jeez.
reunion, the season should be over very soon, so the reunion will be happening, obviously, in real time. So everybody is so excited to see her pop off on them at the reunion because it's another scandal situation, but I almost feel like this one could be worse.
Wow. Is this on Peacock?
No,
This
this
is
is
on
on
Peacock,
Bravo, right?
No,
Oh
it's
yeah,
on
it is
Peacock.
Peacock and Bravo. Yeah.
Oh, good. So Andy Cohen's going to handle the reunion.
Yes.
Yeah,
huh?
and I
He
hope he
will.
brings
No.
up Paige. By the way,
Oh, I hope he brings out Paige too.
Love
You're so
Paige.
right.
All right. Well, I might have to
Yeah.
catch up on this.
Everybody's like, Sierra is the new Ariana Madix. Like, she's gonna,
she's gonna host Love Island.
She might be the next Bachelorette.
Honestly, maybe. I wouldn't.
She might, like,
Sarah's such a wonderful person too.
She really is.
And this Wes is a real rat bastard.
He is
Wes,
actually.
No, but you know what?
It's more in her friend.
More to Amanda. Amanda is who's dead to me, because as a woman, I cannot believe that you would do that to your friend, a woman that helped you through your divorce. That's disgusting. And to all the women out there who think that that's okay, you're dead to me too.
You're dead to me.
Well,
There's no defending.
all I can tell to Sierra is, if you want to get in a better spot, you should watch UFC 327, because let me tell you who's fighting in the main event. Carlos Olberg.
I knew you were gonna throw it like that.
That'll get you feeling better.
Uh-oh. My dog is squaring up with an iguana.
Ooh, really?
Take a video.
Yeah, take a video. Which one, Dre or Zeus?
Dre.
Oh boy, dude, can I tell you what happened before we headed over to Carlos? Yesterday there was a bird that was just like dead in my backyard, and I don't know what the hell happened to it. It was like, and I'm like, and it wasn't no pigeon either. I was like, this thing looks like a fancy ass bird, and it was a hawk. Well, at least according to AI, because I took a picture and then like put it in AI and said, hey, what kind of bird is this? And it said it was a juvenile Cooper's hawk. But I was like, and then I asked it, well, what killed it? And it said, according to it, it's because I was worried. I was like, did it get poisoned? Like, what happened to this thing? And it said that it looked like blunt force trauma, because juvenile Cooper's hawks, they learn how to hunt, but if you miss, go right into a tree.
Wow.
So, I don't know if that's what happened or not, but that's what.
Do you have a lot of trees nearby? Like,
I do. I have big trees in my
famine
yard.
right there.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was a thing. I didn't know that they were playing it. I didn't know Hawks were playing a dangerous game like that.
But because they dive bomb.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
And if you're a little bit off on your aim, take that lumber to the skull. No bueno. But that's the second time I've had to deal with a hawk, because the last time I had a red-tailed hawk, and they said the same thing. They said blunt force trauma. It probably ran into like a van. I was like, what? Big T says, what did he say?
J Fig is planting 100 trees in her backyard today.
It's crazy. Dude, there's actually been like a bird that for the past 2 days, I'm going towards my door and it's just there waiting for me, and it tries to scare me.
Wow.
It's Washington's ghost coming to haunt you.
I don't like it.
You killed Washington.
I don't like it. It needs to go away.
Oh man. All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, Black Jag, Carlos Olberg. He's fighting for the championship at UFC 327, and he's also really good looking. He joins us next. I'm very excited to talk to our next guest. We got the other half of the main event in the building, Leroy. Carlos Olberg is joining us. Going to be fighting at UFC 327 at the Kaseya Center next Saturday, April 11th for the light heavyweight championship of the world. Tickets still available, Ticketmaster.com, KaseyaCenter.com, so you can go watch it at the Heat's house. But Carlos, thanks for the time, man. Really appreciate you.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. Nice to be here in Miami for the first time.
It's great to have you, buddy. This is, I remember after your last win, you were adamant that, like, listen, you'll do whatever it takes to get to the title. You'll fight whoever it takes to get to the title. What was your reaction when you found out you were fighting Yuri, but it was going to be for the title?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time coming. This fight has been sure to happen, but I mean, I've seen it happen. Oh, I've seen this sure that it's going to happen. So, here it is now, and I knew that it was going to be up against someone like Yuri, and yeah, he's a good opponent, and to have to fight for the world title against him is going to be epic.
Was there any part of it that was it strange for any of you guys as contenders, just because, like, you didn't know if Bejeda was going to stick around? There was a lot of rumors that he was going to move up to heavyweight. So maybe not surprised that he made the move, but the timing of the move did that come as a surprise to you at all? And then, like, what was your mind once that happened?
Yeah, no surprises. I expected for that to happen. I think Bejeda had done what he needed to do in the division and in the middleweight division. So for him to step up and go for that heavyweight title it was all about timing. He is getting a bit older, and it is the time for him to take what no one else has ever done, and to get that third title would be massive for him, for the sport, and he'd just be etching himself into being one of the biggest names in the whole of UFC.
So when this fight comes across your way, like, was like, finally, like, you've had such a great journey with the UFC and you've been on such a roll, but, like, you're finally here for a championship, man. That's got to be incredible for all the work that you put in.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's all hard work. It's all hard work. But I mean, if you're in this game, you're in this game to be the champion, and I've always seen it happen. I put my hard work into it. My peers know that I've done all the hard work, and it doesn't just get given to me on a silver platter. I've done everything I needed to do. I've gone through the division, and now we've got this opportunity to fight for the title. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in my mind. I always knew that I was going to be a champion. So now it's given to us. We're just going to take it, both arms.
This is like, I'm amazed at what you have to go through, like, just to get ready for a fight. Yeah. Like, in most sports, you practice to get ready for the game that week, but you're not doing game time stuff. In the fight game, you got to do it live, because you need to know, your body needs to feel it. Your body needs to know what you can take. And I've always wondered, mentally, how do you go through that training of getting your body and your mind ready for contact, to get grappled, to get it seems like it's just a brutal part of the sport that people don't see.
Yeah, it is. I think it's just like anything in life. A bit of practice, and practice makes perfect. But nothing is ever perfect, and that's why you want to keep the practicing. So
right.
If that makes any sense, but it's getting the experience, and I think I'm learning on the job. And the more fights I get, the more I'm finding the confidence in what I'm doing is right. So when you talk about mentality, I've always had the mental state to be able to pick myself up from any fall and come back and do it over again. And that comes down to training. I think the way is in training. The mentality builds from training. You go in the training, you get smashed. Whether we be going twice, two day trainings, 4 day trainings, come back and do it all over again. And then you're like, your body's sore, but it's like, you've got training partners, you've got your coaches who push you to come back and do it all over again the very next day. And you don't want to, but you know that your opponents, you want to have the upper hand with your opponent. So you want to have the best preparation that you can. So for me, this is a big mental game. This is a big mental. When you're jumping in the octagon, if you're not 100% mentally in there, you're not going to win. So it's whoever wants it the most when you jump in that octagon. When that gate is closed and you're staring your opponent in the eye across from you, it's, am I going to take this from him, or is he going to take it from me? So at that point, it's like, okay, all that training that I've done throughout the years, I'm talking, not just that weeks of training. You know, it's years. You have to take yourself back to the years that you've trained, what you've sacrificed. And I think that's the biggest thing, is you have to remind yourself what you've sacrificed over the years. And it's sacrificing time. It's like sacrificing time with your family, sacrificing time with your friends. You want to go party, you want to go do this, you want to go celebrate, you want to go to birthdays, you want to go to weddings that you miss out on. And it's all of that stuff that you sacrifice just to get this hand raised. Are you going to win, or are you going to fall? So
what's the time that you think back to about like when this dream seemed crazy? Like what were you doing? When were you thinking like, I'm doing this, but I want to be world champion? And like, to be here's got to be incredible.
Yeah, for sure. And like I've said, I mean, like, I've seen this happen in my mind many times. And if you ask anybody that is successful, that yes, it's hard work, but you just know that for me, as a young kid, I always knew that, I had a, like, my upbringing was, things weren't given to me, on a silver platter. If you, I don't know, like, I wasn't very fortunate to, I lived in a harder neighborhood. So I had to work my ass off. I have to work myself off to.
That one's you're good on that one.
Okay. I made it worse by saying that. But yeah, I had to work, man. And, like you're saying, if you ask anyone that's successful, it's just gratitude, man. As long as you have that gratitude, because gratitude is the attitude. And if you think that you wake up in the morning, you're like, yeah, I want to be here. I'm thankful that I'm here. I'm thankful that I had to go through that struggle. I'm thankful that, my bones are sore, but I can do it all over again. I'm thankful that I can walk and breathe, and thank God that I'm here. So for me, it's always been gratitude. And I think that's what gets me up every single morning.
So you got just here. You were telling us a 20-hour flight to get over here. How do you deal with the time? Because I remember talking to Alexander Volkanovski. He main evented the last one down here in Miami, and I remember him saying to me, he's like, what's a good thing to go do? Because he wants to like kind of keep the time of like when the fight is. He wanted to stay active almost throughout the night. You're probably going to be fighting at like 11 p.m. at the earliest local time, and so like, are you going to try and find things to kind of keep that clock? How do you deal with all that to set yourself up perfectly for fight night? Or are you going to maybe just adjust because you got here early and just get back regular, then you'll deal with it when you get home?
Yeah, I'm still trying to acclimate at the moment. So we only just got here a couple of days ago, but it's trying to get as much sleep in as I can. But I mean, I'm operating on 3 or 4 hours of sleep at the moment, but I know that's going to get better as we go on throughout the days and the weeks. But for me, it's whenever I get in, I try and find the sun, ground myself, jump in the water. I'm trying to find that beach one of these days, and then that'll help me to acclimate a little easier. I think once you found the grounding of wherever you are, that'll help you to acclimate a little better and easier. So yeah, and my coaches here, they know how to. They've been doing it for a while. I think they've gone through 3 different time zones in the last week or so, 2 weeks, and they know how to work with it, and they know how to work with me to let it happen.
So unlike any other sport, you have games that start. I mean, your fights start at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Do you train? Do you do anything at that time as you lead up to the fight? Because it would seem like, you get up real early, you may work out, you may have lunch, go work out again. But how do you get yourself prepared to turn it up at 11 at night?
Yeah, sure. At that time, right? Yeah, that's standard. I think once we go into, because right now, I think the most important thing is finding our sleep. Sleep is important right now so we can find our bearings and wherever we are, acclimate. And then as the time goes on, next week, fight week, that's when we'll be able to do our training around the same time we're fighting, so that our body clock's kind of like, yeah, this is when we need to turn on at this time. So we're also even our training methods that we're doing back home, we're trying to work around the same time that we'll be fighting as well. But which is a little harder because we're back home at different times, but
Right.
time zones. But here, I think the most important thing right now is just our sleep. But then as fight week comes in next week and we've kind of found our bearings, then we'll be able to train around the same time that we're fighting. So just keeping up and keeping our energy levels up at that time, but trying to have the naps in between in the day as well.
Talking to Carlos Oberg, he's going to be fighting in the main event, UFC 327 at the Kaseya Center next Saturday, April 11th. Tickets available, Ticketmaster.com. KaseyaCenter.com is where you guys can find them. A hell of a fight between him and Yuri Prochazka. You also got the flyweight title, Joshua Van and Tatsuro Taira fighting at the 125 belt. Carlos, Yuri's he's a bit of a wild card when we all see him in there. Like, you never know. Like, we just had him in studio. He's got that calm demeanor, but you can see he kind of can throw the kitchen sink at you. How do you prepare? Like, what are the things you look out for the most when preparing for a guy like him?
Yeah, it's hard to prepare for someone like that who's unpredictable, but I just stick to my guns, do what I've do what I've done to get myself to this position. And it's I guess at this point it's chaos versus precision. And I'm a sniper in there, and I think that's how I operate the best. So it's this is the fight, this is it. And I think there's no better fight to have against someone. He's a big fan favorite. He's been, because he's such a wild card, as you say, and a big fire drawer. People love him. People love him for that because people love to see blood. People love to see that, the chaos. They love to see someone who's kind of getting beaten up and then they come back. So he's that Rocky story. People love that. So yeah, I'm just out here to shock the world. That's it.
You guys, it's been incredible from your part of the world where we've seen Volkanovski and Izzy and Robert Whitaker. Like, what does it mean to be like kind of the next in line there of like, because if the fan base is rabid over Australia, New Zealand, you guys go absolutely nuts for this stuff. What's it mean to be in the line with that?
Well, this is amazing because then this just means that there's so much more talent to come out from our side of the world, and it gives a bit more hope for some of the rest of the younger guys coming up. So if we keep having world champions coming through, there's going to be so much more hope in Australia and New Zealand. Guys are going to be like, oh yeah, we can do it too. So, and for sure, honestly, if I can do it, I know these guys can.
Is there anything in Miami you've been looking forward to? Like, what's the thing you want to do while you're here? Because you do got some time. You can't be hitting mitts at all points and sparring all points. Like, is there anything you want to do to unwind before? Because I'm sure that's got to be important too, to just like get your mind right and relax a little bit before you have to go and take somebody's head off.
Man, I'm just here to get that title, here to get that win. So
all business,
that's what I'm focused on at the moment. Yeah,
you're all business right now. Like, it's got to be like, it feels so close.
Yeah,
like,
I know that there's so much. Like because we're staying like in an area that's like quite. It's like a Cuban style, like the houses are around there. So it's nice to have that feel. You've got chicken and roosters walking around all over the place. You really feel like you're in an island. So I love that feel that we've got right now. So you really immersed yourself into it. So I'm gonna I think next week, once I've kind of got my sleep patterns right, gonna walk through the town and have a look and really just soak it in. And that's when it's gonna all fall into place for me, and I'm really just going to be sponging everything in.
Is anybody flying over, like family, friends, to make the trip over here for this?
We do have friends. My close family, because it was such a short notice for me. I think we found out about 5 weeks out, so it was kind of harder to be like, oh, you just jump on the plane and and stop your work and come over. But there's going to be many times after this. So we've got a big team at the moment that's over here to help us out, which is amazing. And then we do have a couple guys come filtering through a bit later on.
How does it work when you come and travel into a town? Like, are you gonna go to? There's a ton of local gyms here, obviously, like big names. Do you go to one of those gyms, or you just try and find a place to keep it within the team, like as far as maybe like last minute preparations concerned?
Yeah, we've been lucky enough to have the Boxer crew invite us over to.
Oh, that's a nice gym.
Yeah, to because it's close for us, and it just it's been amazing. The boys out there, Mateo's been accommodating for us, and we go in and get our work done. So we go in, get our work done, come out. So that's it's nice to have that.
See that David Benavidez walking around there?
We haven't crossed paths just yet, but I know there's the faces coming through the gym a lot. So
it's been they do a great job down there with hosting and whatnot. But for your standpoint, like you've been dreaming this for a long time. What do you think that moment will be like if you win the title? What have you envisioned it when you have envisioned it?
Well, yeah, it's my coaching team just celebrating, and it's I know that it's that moment where you're like you get the win, and then it's like wow, I just did that. Because it doesn't really sink in until like 3 or 4 seconds, and you're like, wow, what did I just do? Oh my God, I've just become the world champion. And it kind of kicks in, and then you're still everything's still quite overwhelming that you're not really soaking it in. And I know that it's just going to take a couple weeks even, because it's just going to be media, this and that. So that's how I'm envisioning everything. And I think it's just, for me, it's just keeping myself grounded. And that's how I like to operate myself, as long as I keep myself grounded, I'll be able to soak it all in as it comes.
Carlos Olberg, go check him out. He's taking on Yuri Prohashka for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the World, UFC 327 at the Kaseya Center at the Heat's house. Tickets are available Ticketmaster.com and KaseyaCenter.com. Hey, buddy, thanks. Appreciate you. I know you're on little sleep, so I appreciate you spending some time in the studio with us. I hope you get to enjoy some of Miami. And we're looking forward to seeing the fight, man.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.